and I look down, and all your fears around the ground. Then you said, all I ever wanted was to love like this. All I ever needed was to feel like something more than a closed door flat on the floor. I can offer so much more. All I ever wanted was to feel at ease. All I ever needed was to get up off my feet. 'Cause I believe in love. Hold on just a little. We'll meet right here in the middle ground is where we'll stand. Let go of the brittle, 'cause you'll find life is a riddle that we're not meant to understand. Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out, 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 I can help you out. Here we go again. Time is up and I'm calling up my friends. Ain't no wonder why, ain't no one to ride to. Here we go again. Call me up and you wanna be my friend. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out, 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 I can help you out. Look, if you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out, 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 I can help you out.
And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our cloudlands when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding.
I'm alone, I'm a broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go, I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired of the pain. Go away. I'm tired of guessing time. I fell where my demons dwell. My own little nightmare, I call it hell. Oh well, it's time to get back up, climbing and climbing. I'm done with this ride, is what I tell myself, so I could feel something else. Yeah, I guess I had my bad days, but it doesn't mean I lost my style. Darling, where were you when my heart was on the ground? I thought time would prove that you would stick around. I guess time stops still, a king without his crown. Now I'm breaking, you're faking, girl. You never made a sound. I'm tired.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to you all. This is World League Esports. WLE is your new home of esports. My name is Olympus, and tonight I am joined by my co-caster, the man himself, Luther. How are you doing?
I am phenomenal. It's been a really nice day outside, and I'm now retiring into my little stream hole. We're going to bring you some South African Siege, some South African esports. Today on the cards for you, we have Bravado versus Sinister5. This is going to be a very interesting matchup. What do you think is going to happen here?
To be entirely honest, I think that Bravado is going to take it, and maybe in a 2-0, because Sinister5 haven't had the most convincing score streak throughout this tournament. Of course, we'll remind you all that this is the World League Esports Rainbow Six Impromptu tournament, and tonight we're playing for 3rd place. So the winner of this match is going to be number 3, the loser number 4. So back to your question, I think that Bravado are going to take it because they have been a little bit stronger throughout this tournament. But then again, tonight, because Manny, their coach, is going to be playing, he'll be filling in for who again?
He's filling in for Minted, I believe.
Yeah, so that could also switch things up a little bit, but we'll only find out by actually getting right into the game.
Absolutely. We'll be going to Oregon first off for that is Sinister5's map pick. Then we're going to Chalet and Clubhouse as our decider if we get there. Of course, Bravado, like you said, have been playing exceptionally well. I mean, coming off of their 2-0 against Vibin. Of course, they lost, but taking it to round 15 each time was an incredible feat, and they showed a lot of potential. And against the Sinister5 stack, I'm expecting big things from them. But without any further ado, we have our teams in the lobby. We have them ready. We'll kick it straight off into Oregon.
Let's go into the Midwest of the United States, is where the first of, or potentially 3 maps of the day will be starting. And we get right into the ban phase. So Thatcher, I think it's safe to say he's going to be the first one off the board.
Standards. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Jackal. I mean, Jackal is the second most banned operator, so that's not entirely a surprise either.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree with you. It's usually a Thatcher and a Jackal off the board, just across any map. I feel like that I've seen so far, there have been the highest pick rate across, I think, our tournament as well as just the ranked season in general. So not surprised there to see both those operators see the bench. Obviously, both can be used to great effect on a map such as Oregon. Oregon tends to be one of the smaller maps, so maybe not needed just yet. Obviously, with these teams scrimming against each other, they don't necessarily need the Thatcher. Everyone plays without it just because he's insta-banned. Our first defender ban will be a mirror, so also not surprisingly, there are a couple of strong mirror holds that we have seen in and around the halls of Oregon. And lastly, we will see the Kaid off the board. Now, as I say each and every time, if the Thatcher goes, so does the K, just because it's so difficult to get those electric laws off of hatches and the likes with him not being able to get there. Twitch doesn't necessarily seem as effective. You know, these players do a lot of aim training. I'm sure they can hit a Twitch drone on first try. So not surprised there at all. We will be going to laundry and supply room first and foremost. Let's have a look at the setup.
Still focusing on the bans, the fact that Kaid is gone immediately set off a bell ringing in my head, and I was thinking that would mean Hibana gets picked up, but instead for hard breach, SINISTER5, since they're starting on attack, have decided to bring Ace and Maverick. Not that there's anything wrong with bringing those two over Hibana. I was just thinking that because the way her X-Kairos gadget got that rework where you can like select how many pellets you need, and also the kind of health pool, quote unquote, for destructible environments such as hatches. Those two changes in combination made Hibana just a little bit more viable. Not that it boosted her peak rate much higher than it already was, but I think it just made the quality of life of using her all that much higher and all that much better. So she's not going to be coming out. Maybe it's just a comfort thing. Maybe it's just a preference thing. Maverick and Ace totally more than enough capable to get rid of the hatches. And given that this site we're starting on doesn't have too many that you need to be worried about, I'm not too surprised there either.
I'm quite interested to see where this clash is going to set up. I imagine she's going to... Oh, wow. That is incredibly unfortunate, as your very first pick for this third place semi-final. Incredibly unfortunate there. Divan will not see the rest of this round. And you can see already 3 players stacked up outside of blue bunker. Now that is exactly where the clash is pitched as well. There goes the nade. It does get taken down by the 82nd one. Does fly. Will do some damage to Manny though. And it makes sense that you're putting your EU-based player on that shield operator. Maybe the ping maybe get a bit much later on in the round. But my goodness, what a start. Now, Mystic will be providing the backup here just behind that CCE shield. You can see the Flores drone go through. And this Clash and Jaeger are also playing for assistance with the Smoke, who is holding the elbow. So obviously there's going to be a huge point of attention for the attack. But I do wonder where the other 2 members of the attacking side are coming from. It seems like they are posted up along the attic stairs, the back stairs there. And you can see they're going to try and get Jaeger and Clash out the way here. And not even a minute gone, and there's a lot of pressure being applied here down in the basement.
Majority of the action has been happening here in construction, and some good coordination from Mystic and Manny, but Mystic gets down in the process after dishing some damage and eventually getting rid of Nivek. It's a flurry of kills right now, which are all blue, as bodies from Bravado are just meeting the ground, and it's eventually the Clash left alive. He's doing a little bit of a dance here, but too many angles for him to have gotten out of that one alive. And the first round goes in the favor of SINISTER5.
He nearly got that kill down in towards bunker, but no, he wasn't going to survive that one. Just a Clash and that little machine pistol that she has in her pocket wasn't going to do much damage, especially against the rushing in players from SINISTER5. But that, all in all, I feel like that was a very good execution coming out from them. A lot of applied pressure there in bunker, as we said before. Made sure they got the ADSs. And I think just the overwhelming power of 3 operators stacked up against that CCE shield. Not much support coming in from the Smoke in the end, which was, I think, would have been crucial in holding that specific area. And of course, the Jaeger having to turn away and look towards Alex's meant that the defense's attention was divided. And I think that ultimately was what did it for Bravado. Now, they will be going to double dorms instead, so not repeating their hold downstairs. And let's see if there's anything changed up here. I do see a mute coming aboard. And instead of a Mozzie, we will have a Wamai coming out from Mitch. So we will see a bit of a different strategy. We will see the shield again. I feel like this pick is predominantly centered around the fact that he is having some ping issues. So it's probably in Bravado's best interest in this case. Now, having a look at the stack from Sinister5, they've actually brought a Ying. I'm interested to see where she gets played. I imagine perhaps coming through Attic, just trying to flash out anyone there, taking that control quick and fast. But we'll have to wait and see again, sticking those two hard breach operators of the Maverick and the Ace.
If I'm not mistaken, Ying also has the hard breach secondary gadget, so she's going to assist wherever that little bit of hard breach is deemed needed by his stack. Actually, he's bringing 2 smoke grenades. Okay, so it's going to be, I'm assuming, a smoke plant, but that might not actually be the case because that last round went by rather quickly as rounds go in Siege, and especially on Oregon. Especially even more so on Laundry, which was the last site. The construction defense was met directly by a construction attack, and in the end, Sinister5 were successful, and they didn't really struggle that much with the clash. Surprisingly, because they had grenades, but they weren't that much effective at getting rid of her. Divan goes out here for a run out. He gets detected, dishes some damage, but receives some in return, and then decides to haul himself back into the site, play a little bit safer for his life. On the side of Sinister5, though, they are still collecting the information they need. Drones are being put to use. Some of them having a little bit of difficulty because Eerie is playing the mute, like you said. And here we have the workings of an Attic attack going on. It seems like Nivek on the other side of the map is setting himself up for a push into the master bedroom trophy and then into the site itself. As we see here, he tosses out 1 Candela, try and get rid of the clash. I'm not too sure if it goes off. Yeah, it does. And she's just standing there, watching them.
Yeah, a lot of focus now being pushed towards the trophy room, trying to clear that clash out as far as possible. Obviously, those Candelas will assist there. We saw a smoke being popped by the Ying as well. Now, I really like this angle that's being presented to us there from the meeting hall up to the hatch into the attic. And this is where Divan will be posted. I had a bit of a flashback there when he was running past the windows at the start of the round, and even for the run out, just fearing for his life somewhat after that first pick in the previous round. But he's going to have to be responsible here for holding the push from Attic from below. It's quite surprising that there's nobody watching the meeting hall stairs as well, as that is quite a common angle to be held. And there you can see Divan does collect the first kill onto Delphox, but he'll get a second as well onto Vlad with a very nicely tossed C4. Now Newick getting to work below with that LMG in hand. Divan's actually going to walk past him. He's going to completely ignore him. He's going to make his way up to the main stairs, but there is an air jab in place. We can hear the sound trigger, and oh my goodness, he doesn't see him looking up the stairs, and that could be crucial. Blackstone does get 1 more, and we find ourselves in a 3 versus 4 with 30 seconds left on the clock. Time is ticking down, and it's going to have to come down to an all-out frag base. There is a swing from Mitch, but no, Newick will clean him up with that LMG. There we go. ADS catches 1 Candela, so a bit of waste utility there. Smoke to follow, but no, Divan coming in with the frags. It's triple on the round for him. Will he get 4? He will indeed. Going for the ace, but no. Mystic steals his thunder, and Blackstone hits the deck.
I'm just kind of amused by how Nivek was able to run right outside past, who was that? Was that Divan in the main lobby?
Yeah.
And neither seemed to be aware of the other. But nonetheless, it's an equalizer and we're 1 up a piece. So a good attack round from Sinister5 round number 1, a good defense from Bravado in round number 2. And if these 2 rounds are anything to go by, it's going to be one of those back and forths that we've seen in this tournament so far. To me, that's not entirely a bad thing. It shows me that the level of competition and the level of skill in our scene in these players is something to write home about. And it's about time that more people started taking notice.
I would just like to address Newick personally and be like, do me a favor, watch this VOD back and just watch you run past Divan at the bottom of main stairs, because oh my goodness. But that just shows the attention and the sheer focus and determination that they've got going on at the moment. It's a very intense matchup, and when you are single-mindedly focused on one thing, you're not really paying attention to something else. So that explains likely why he ran past and made his way up towards the double window. Now we will go back down to the laundry and basement site. We've got our pretty standard setup here. You can see Airy now on the warden, so he's going to be putting some sight lines in between the sites, making some rotates to allow his defenders to rotate as fast as possible, as evenly as possible. Mitch is going to be posted up here on towards the attic stairs, and you can see Manny's getting very aggressive here outside, makes his presence known, and again we have 4 players actually stacked up to challenge him. We've got Newix LMG just ringing out again, and Manny's just going to stand and watch and encourage him to waste ever more bullets as they look to push in towards the blue bunker. This is what I was waiting for. We need somebody to push down attic to push Mitch out of place here, but of course the ARX gives away his position, but Mystic says, I hear you as well, and dispatches of Kiev. Now, Delphox gets a refrag though onto Divan. So that's a smoke off the board. That is quite crucial in my opinion, as that smoke was going to be the main denial for this push. With them gone, they basically have blue bunker control, and it's all up to Manny now with that CCE shield.
Manny did get a little bit stunned by Nivek's stun grenade, but then he got pushed back a little bit, took a little bit of damage in his feet, and Sinister5 right now is still dealing with the utility in the construction. You can hear the Rotero drones from Flores going off, as well as that barbed wire being ridded off on the door itself. Eerie, he's playing Warden, which is a good adaptation because last round Nivek was playing a Ying, but this round there isn't a Ying. So both of these teams are trying to adapt to one another on the fly, keeping each other on the edge of their seats, which is happening right now with the action because it's kills going all ways right now, but it's a 2v2. Before that was a 3v2, now it's a 2v2, and once again it's a back and forth between these two teams. It seems that Manny will be the last one left alive, not if Delphox has something to say about it though. Manny is down eventually. It's a triple kill for Delphox, who's been having a phenomenal round so far, and all the hopes for Bravado this round rest on Mitch, who is dispatched off, and that's a 4K for Delphox. So putting that AR-33 to good use is having a good time with Flores.
I want to know why the silencer is being run on the AUG. Very interesting choice there. Perhaps they were memeing casual, who knows? But I definitely think that was a bit of a detrimental play. Obviously not carrying as much damage per shot as it would do without. But like I said, the previous time that we were on laundry and supply, seems like Sinister5 have very well thought out and executed strategies onto this bomb site in particular. They know the areas that they need to take care of, and I don't think having Manny on the shield was the play. I think you need to put a gun in his hand and tell him to, you know, do as much damage as possible without trying to electrocute them. Now, I did see that he actually was not playing on the shield this time, so nice to see the adaptation coming through there, and we'll see the exact same lineup from Sinister5. Now, Airy has picked up the mutes. I'm interested to see where they prefer to have their drone denial, or maybe even wall denial. We'll have to wait and see. Doubling down on projectiles as well with the Jaeger and Wamai. One thing I want to note, there hasn't been much presence or sort of roam clear, I would say, coming from the side of Sinister5 through the top to the middle floor. There's also been no sort of pressure coming towards the laundry. It seems a bit neglected at this point in time. And I'm hoping that we can see something different coming out from them, as I do feel like Bravado are the type of team to be able to read into the strategy and into the pushes coming out here, seeing as it has been done twice before. I mean, you've got their coach playing as well. He should, if anyone, should be able to identify the patterns that are coming through. So I'd like to see an adaptation come out here from Bravado just to switch things up and keep things fresh for this defense. Now, you can see Blackstone immediately going to start droning out into the lobby, make sure classroom is clear, and all the way down to the elbow around security. They have spotted them Lucy, who's actually moving upstairs into double dorms. This is a basement defense. So now they know there's at least one person off-site and at least one person roaming. Now, I'd like to see if Sinister5 are going to dedicate a roam clear.
You know, it's interesting you said how Bravado weren't roaming on the last 2 rounds they were defending this site, and now they have an established roam in Devon and Mystic, who's playing in meeting right now. He's getting shot through the walls, trying to run away with his life, dancing around the couch, and actually gets the kill onto Delphox, which is a huge kill because he had been popping off in the previous round, though that leaves him with very little HP, and right now he can't even play for his life. Right now, all he can do really is waste time, which I think Devon is going to help him do as he's on this rotate, shoots through the wall and a flick onto the head of Vlad there. He's taken off the server for this round, and suddenly it's a 2v4. And for the first time, I think, the man count favors Bravado, which is something we haven't been seeing too much. Usually, the man count favors the side of SINISTER5 and then Bravado bring it back. But SINISTER5 are looking to change that trend right now as Nivek on the server stairs actually gets the kill onto Airy, an aggressive push down them. I call them the server stairs, but they're actually the freezer stairs. My apologies there, because the action is coming out so quickly in the early sections of these rounds. We have a minute to go, and it's 4 players left in the lobby right now.
My goodness, you can see that. Oh, Mitch with the org takes the head off of Newick, but if you know the angles, you know exactly where to pre-fire, and it connected this time. You can see the last stacker is now moving down the freezer stairs. Does Mitch hear him? Slowly but surely making his way down. I think he does. You can see he switches his crosshairs ever so slightly just to make sure he's watching those lockers. It's only the Nomad left alive, knowing that there's likely a player behind the shield, and that smoke babe will give away the presence and confirm it for him. He's going to have to make a quick rotate now back down towards the main stairs to try and switch up this push. He's only got 25 seconds left, but luckily Nomad is a 3-speed operator now. The cross has been held by the Wamai. Do they know exactly? Yes, they do. He does turn to flick. He does pre-fire. Does not hit his shots. It will be the RX and versus the Org. He moves through to the soft wall. Will not connect. Will he peek left or right? He does go right. Trying to take the open angles against these last 2 defenders. It is Kiev in a 1 versus 2 to be a 2 versus none as he hits the deck. And that will be Bravado tying things up here in the 4th round. And I love the adaptation of the Roamers.
That is indeed what they were doing. The rounds that we saw where SINISTER5 were defending, or rather attacking that bomb site, they came down to just everyone floods into construction. There was a point where there were 4 attackers outside that construction door. But that last round, like you said, Luther, was a really good adaptation. We saw the ROM game from Mystic, we saw the ROM game from Devon in meeting room and in, I guess, the whole map, essentially. Devon was playing at the top of White Stairs, and then he rotated over into kitchen and that side of the map. He kept the attackers on their toes, which is exactly what you want to do. You want to waste their time, want to make them feel unsafe of pushing and have them thinking, oh my, what if someone comes, flanks me, gets an easy shot into my back. So yeah, good adaptations coming right on the fly, round per round for these 2 teams, which is what we love to see. It means that these 2 teams are reading each other very, very beautifully. And now we go back to the Double Domes bomb site. Round number 2, when we were last here, Bravado are the ones who won. So we'll see what adaptation, as that's the name of the game tonight, will be coming out from Bravado. As SINISTER5, for the most part, have the same operator lineup, except Nivek, who's now playing on the Ash.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. I'm quite interested to see how that is going to be applied to this bomb site. Obviously, he was playing on the Ying previously, so wanting to play for those Candelas and Smokes, pushing through into Trophy and pushing the clash of Manny back. But of course, Manny has picked up the mute now, so a bit of an adaptation there as well. But I imagine Newik is just going to play this entry role, maybe use those breaching rounds from below. There's nothing necessary that he needs to deal with, except maybe an Aruni Gate or Banshee or 2. We'll have to wait and see. There we go. He does actually go straight to the classroom. He's going to try and get rid of any sort of utility that was stopping any hard breach inside of the closet. Now, that is dealt with quite swiftly. And all of a sudden, we are aware of the Malusi playing in T2. Now, she's going to be watching T3, as this was such a prominent position in the previous Bravado versus Viben game, but will not be the case just yet. There is a window breaking just above your head, Divan, so you have to be careful. Newick does get one onto area though, and that is the Aruni of the board. Divan takes a lot of damage, and he's not going to be able to escape in time as Dalfox cleans him up with the pistol, making a quick entry now into T2 as they have established their attic control. And oh no, Manny doesn't see him. It could be the ping, or it could just be Blackstone's angle. The AK-12 decapitates the player just inside of Trophy. Now it's only Mystic and Mitch, the double M's, to fight up against the 5-stack of SINISTER5 with 1.5 minutes to go. It's not looking good here for Bravado on double dorms.
Similar to all the previous rounds we've been witnessing, a lot of the action has been coming out in the early sections of these rounds. Same case goes for this one, as there is 1 minute and 18 seconds to go. Blackstone will be getting the diffuser down and planted. Mitch, on the other hand, he has an impact in hand, throws it out. Not enough damage to get rid of the planter and of any other players, as he was in a 4v1. He's quickly taken down and out for the count. And Sinister5, they're on a roll right now. 3 rounds in a row that they have strung together. And no, sorry. Bravado is the one that won that. No, sorry, Bravado. I'm so confused right now. Look, I've had a 3-hour class, okay, before I came into this stream. And my note taking is not at the best.
Nah,
So
not a problem. I can help you out
Yeah.
there. They've actually been trading round for round so far. So it was Sin 5 Bravado, Sin 5 Bravado, Sin 5 as we go into kitchen and dining hall, which will be the very first time we see this bomb site coming out from Bravado, looking to tie it up, going into the swap. We don't see any sort of operator variation coming out here. Manny will still be playing that sort of support shotgun-based role, so not opting to go for any sort of AR or SMG, just so that, you know, to accommodate for him as best. Oh no, Manny, I lie, is actually on the MPX of Valkyrie, so responsible for that extra intel for his team. And, you know, as a coach, you thrive off of more and more information. That makes sense, I guess, that he distributes those Valkyrie cameras, as we will see shortly. Now, looking over at Sinister5, they've actually decided to bring an IQ this time, as Newick tries to go for another new operator. Everyone else will remain the same, but I'm quite curious as to why they have gone to dining and kitchen as opposed to kitchen and meeting hall has been, I feel like, the more prevalent sites later on in the season now, just because it's so difficult to keep that dining wall closed. You have to have a really skilled player playing out from the kitchen to defend that bomb site. So we'll have to see how this plays out now for Bravado. But I mean, only time will tell at this time, as it looks to be a small tower take rather in the meantime.
Yeah, small tower is the first point of entry, and the first body also falls. That's money gone off the board. His cameras will still be in effect, but that means any utility he might have had in hand, such as a C4, or even the MPX itself, will no longer be a factor. Divan is once again on this room. He's by the double window, the big window in the dorms main hall. He's quite aware that he might get taken out, so he's having to kind of watch the angles for himself. Mystic, though, with that angle is not able to take the head off of Vlad. The wall opens and he decides to fall back, because that's not a room that you want to be sitting in when the attackers start shooting their ARs right through it. The setup here in the bathroom is not the most unique thing we've ever seen, and right now Mystic is trying to survive there. He's having a difficult time though, because he doesn't have any shields or magnets, to my knowledge. So he's just going to play around the reinforcements and these mute jammers for his life and for time.
That's a pretty common hold there, extending in towards showers, but usually it's played with a shield and maybe even a castle barricade or two. So it's interesting that Mystic is going to choose to play there, and they're going to keep that hold. As he does collect one, Delphox will play onto the refrag with that AR-33 as time does tick down, finding ourselves in a 4 versus 3. Divan has to make his way back to the bomb site. He has to be the one responsible now for trying to hold out these players from dining. As I said, you can't keep it closed forever, as the vertical play is too easy. Blackstone has made his way into side, getting that diffuser down. The Eerie finding himself in a 1 versus 4. Things are not looking on the bright side for Bravado. He's going to look to rotate with that MP5K in hand, but he will not hit his shots. And the G8, I believe it was, claims the last remaining life from Bravado and the last round of this side. Now we will go into the side swap with Bravado on the attack. Is this going to be a attacker-sided map? We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. It will be double dormers, but I feel like that was quite an emphatic first half for Sinister5. They showed incredible, I think, thought process and decision-making to really take out this Bravado 5-stack. The communication seemed to be working for them. The drones rolling around in all the right places to facilitate the picks and overall get them into the 4-2 coming into the switch.
Yeah, it was good to see how Sinister5 were coordinating on their attacks, and you asked whether it's going to be an attacker-sided map. It very well might be, because players like Devon have been known in the past to pick up a lot of momentum once they get on their attacks. Same goes for Mystic, who will be playing his usual Iana. I'm curious as to why Devon isn't playing Buck, because that's usually his main, and that's where we see him popping off. Like the game they were playing against Vibin on Villa, he was ripping shreds through them with that C8.
Yeah, I remember quite that one round where he, I think he won the round just with the skeleton key, bobbing and weaving around the door frame and the holes and whatnot. So yeah, I can definitely vouch for Divan saying that he is a phenomenal Buck player. But I imagine he's just as good on this Ashe role. I feel like he's going to be doing the same thing, going below into Classroom, sending that breaching round up into the floor, getting rid of any utility that is on the floor, which would likely be the mute jammer from Blackstone. But it's going to actually be a clear from the small tower for the Ashe player as she moves in. Mystic hits the deck courtesy of the MP5. And oh no, what a rip. Newick will claim the first kill on the switch and put his team in a man advantage so early on into this round. But I have no doubt that Bravado have what it takes to bring it back. And as I say that, he looks the wrong way, the Ashe player, and does hit the deck. And it's another kill for Newick as he's just running rampant now in the halls of Oregon. Man, he's now on drone, as is Airy, and they're trying to get some more information. How are they going to facilitate this 3 versus 5? Not a single lick of damage being done to the 5 stack at Sinister. So now we'll have to wait and see how this plays out. Only 1 minute now gone with 2 players already in the grave. Things are not looking great for Bravado.
I agree with you. It's looking a little bit bleak for Bravado right now, but they have 1 minute and 50 seconds to work with, so we can't write them off just yet. I think what's going to be influential in how this round continues to play out is how they choose to deal with Nivek. So far, to the best of my knowledge, I'm not seeing any dedicated flank watch or roam clear to go and hunt him down, because he's just been doing a world tour all over Oregon. Right now, he's in the main lobby going up these main stairs. If there's anyone in Armory, which I don't believe there is, they're going to have a rough time. The rest of the Bravado squad, though, has been working away at this attic wall. I believe that they are angling themselves up to go for an attic push, but that's going to be stopped right in its tracks as the C4 from Nivik once again collects 2 huge kills. 4Kiver is down and put on the ground, but not out just yet. This leaves Mani, the coach of the squad, in what is seemingly an unwinnable situation. The defenders are getting real aggressive, and Nivik goes outside with the knife. If I am not mistaken, that should be an ace from him, shouldn't it?
I do believe there's an ace for Newick, yes.
Because he got the 2 opening kills, and
yeah,
then
and he got double C4, and
the
he got
double
the jump
C4,
out.
and then the last. Yeah, wow. So great job from Nivik. And yeah, like I said, he was gonna be the deciding factor in how that round plays out. Bravado didn't really seem to have a way of stopping him running circles around them, and it cost them eventually. So Laundry Supply Room is the site that Bravado are going to be attacking this time. Sinister5, so far, they're looking good. 3 rounds in a row. See whether they make it 4 rounds, and then that's going to be them sitting on match point. So Bravado have to start waking up right now. Devon,
absolutely, sure.
Mystic,
I mean,
these are the players who are saying
yeah,
once they get that momentum rolling, they really step up. Hopefully, we'll see them picking up some huge kills this round.
Yeah, I mean, Siege tends to be a momentum-based game for the most part. It's very difficult to turn it around within one map for Bravado, so luckily this is a best of 3, so they do have an opportunity to go to their own map, which is Chalet after this. It was an incredible ace coming out from Nuke with that double C4 especially, but one has to wonder where Devon was looking at when the Melusi just rolled up inside of Dining Room.
He was on his drone, if I'm not wrong.
Oh no, I just heard that he was actually on his drone, so not currently audio available, so to speak. We've got a similar setup here coming out from the stack over of Sinister5. We can see the shield being placed in the door to Blue Bunker, and they have a clash as well. So it seems to be a trend now running this clash down in sort of Blue Bunker side, dedicating the shield operator to wasting as much time as possible. It's going to be a small tower clear coming out from the Twitch that is Airy. And the first player he's looking to beat is likely Newick on this MP5 once more, on this dedicated roam, but quickly to be assisted by Vlad on the Jaeger. He's even going to be pushing down now as they look to get rid of as many drones as possible and as many operators as possible on the attacking side. It's going to be a quick rotate with an impact straight through into the attic. And my goodness, they don't even know how close they've come to an engagement. There's 3 players stacked up outside here on the top floor, and Newick is playing a very, very dangerous game. But as I say that, they've all flooded down the stairs. Is this going to be a freeze attack? It looks like they've all stacked up in that general direction. We can hear the X-Kairos going out downstairs, and Newick is on the hunt. He's going to be cruising down. Does the Twitch drone spot him out? I feel like it should have. He's going to rotate all the way back up, and now he's being hunted frivolously by Divan and by the, wasn't it the Twitch player? I think Newick does get one onto Manny though, and that is the Abano off the board. That's the hard breacher, but Divan will be there for the refrag, getting the top frag off the board for Sinister5. At least there is that for the team of Bravado. And oh no, the peak is advantage in favor of the ARX. That's Mystic cleaning up on that end. It is a 3 versus 4 with a minute left on the clock. What are Bravado going to do here to bring things back?
You know, it's not often that you see a prone clash holding an angle on the bottom of freezer stairs. But yeah,
very true.
One of those things that you get to see when you're watching World League esports tournaments such as this one. So as the minute continues to dwindle away from the attackers, the defenders will get a bit more comfortable because the clock obviously is going to favor them. The man count doesn't, however, and so at this point they have to make a decision. Do they anchor in? Do they sink into the trenches, or do they get a little bit aggressive to try and bring back that man advantage? On the hand of Bravado, though, they have to make a move at some point because the time is just simply going to run away from them. Right now it's looking like 2 of them are in freezer and then 1 is in laundry itself. Blackstone with the pick is not able to get the kill onto Mystic. A beautiful shot from him. Devon adds to the kill feed there, and suddenly Kiver is the last man left alive. Doesn't have any more toxic babes to work with. He peeks around the shield to get Mitch, but Mystic is there to clean things up for his team. We said he needed to start waking up. He's putting that ARX and the Ana to good use. Bravado now have another round under the belt, which is good for them. 5-3 is not a bad scoreline whatsoever. And for now, at least, this is anyone's game.
Absolutely. I mean, I just had a look at our round count now, and Sinister5 did string 3 rounds in a row. Obviously, the last 2 defenses and their very first attack. But now they've been stopped in their tracks by Bravado. So I'm wondering which way it's going to go. As you said, it could be anyone's game from here on out. Usually when we see the rounds being strung together in this fashion, it tends to continue like that. But the fact that Bravado have managed to get this round back, I think is going to be incredible and maybe even a pivot point here in this game. We will go back down to laundry as Sinister5 feel that they know exactly what has gone wrong in their defense and what they need to do better. So we'll have a look. Perhaps it is Newick trying to stay alive ever so slightly. Perhaps it's for Vlad to get his 2nd kill of the game. We'll have to wait and see. If we're going to talk about kills, looking over at Manny and Aries specifically have not contributed just yet towards the kills on the scoreboard, but I have no doubt that they have contributed in terms of assists or just plain support. All these players are capable of fragging out on their day, I have no doubt. But we'll have to wait and see if they're going to make any sort of contribution for the rest of the match. As you said, 5-3 now. Bravado looking to bring it back. Just keeping Sinister5 ever so slightly off of this map point. And let's see what they have in store for us. There is 2 shields, 3 shields even, stacked up inside of Blue Bunker, 2 deployable and 1 CCE. Now, I feel like if you are the attacking force of Bravado, you should, at this point in time at least, maybe consider redistributing your forces. And as I say that, Newick has redistributed Manny's body back into the graveyard. Now we can see Zofia putting her concussions and her impacts to work inside the bunker, pushing the clash back, getting rid of those shields, doing as much as possible. And oh no, Blackstone on the FO12, the Ella Shoddy has come out to play. And if anything is going to clutch up in this round, it's going to be the Ella shotgun on the attic stairs. Newick is taking a lot of damage here as he tries to keep these attackers at bay just outside. Oh my goodness. What a flick to clean up Ares' cranium. I don't believe it. Newick is playing absolutely crazy, defending the blue bunker from all the way up the main stairs.
Nivek right now is a pain that Bravado are really struggling to deal with. The last round, we saw what he did. The round before that, we saw him get an ace. And I was hoping going into this round that Bravado would have found an answer to him. But right now, no, it's just him terrorizing people. Half the round and something has gone by. We still have a bit of gunfights coming out here at this stairs in attic. I can't even speak because I'm not entirely sure what I'm witnessing right now. But Mystic and Devon, once the dust has settled, are the last two attackers left alive, and they have to fight against the three. One of them being Nivek. So they're gonna have Bravado as a whole. They're gonna have to find a way to curb this man's enthusiasm. He's just destroying them right now. 14 kills, 5 deaths. He's having a good game. But on the other hand, Mystic has also picked up kills. Devon as well. 9-8, not too bad. Right now, it's a contention at Freezer. Impact grenade gets tossed out. Devon runs away. For Mystic is down by Quiver on the other side of the engagement. Devon right now with 25 HP left.
It's a Mexican
25
standoff.
seconds to go.
Who blinks
I
first?
don't think he's going to get anything, as Nivek is there to find his head. A beautiful peak just around the corner, and that's another round for Sinister5. Back and forth. That is the name of the game tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Newick is on some other stuff, and I want to take whatever he's been having, but my goodness, he is hitting his shots this evening. That is exactly what you want from Sinister5. Newick absolutely popping off, and nothing at this point in time can stop him. I really enjoyed, not gonna lie, when that Ella was thirsted. Make sure to get that kill, even though he was being shot to the soft wall from the other side of the map. I thought that was quite amusing. We will go to double dorms now, and there will be a 6-pick from a Maestro onto a Valkyrie for Blackstone. So instead of opting for those bulletproof laser shooting cameras, going to opt for the more discreet, sleek, black, hideable? I don't think that's a word. Regardless of the fact, but those cameras will be distributed around the bomb sites, and I'm keen to see what these pro players have, little mix of kinds that they've come up with so far. Now, as I said, it will be a double dorms defense, and this will be the second time we'll see it on this half. The first one went in the way of Sinister5, and it came down to just a complete total deathmatch in the end. And I do believe it was Newick with the ace in the very first round. So let's see what he can bring for us this time.
Vlad will be bringing the Goyo. First time we'll be seeing the operator on this map. And although Vlad is on 1 kill, there isn't really much you can complain about if you're him, because you have Nivek who's just stealing all the kills. He's going 15 in 5 right now, and is looking to increase that as he's going for quote-unquote spawn peek out of the main window in the dorms itself. And my question is this: once you have, now he's in dining. When did he even get here? When you have a player who has who's been having such a beautiful game like tonight, what do you do if you're on the opposing team? It's like they're really struggling to find a way to lock him down. He's just bobbing and weaving, ducking in and out of their flank watches, out of their roam clears. Right now, he's found himself at the bottom of this big tower stairs, which is exactly where Mitch and the ace of Manny will be encountering him shortly if they have not drawn this out.
The missed drone.
There you
Dalfox
have
picks up
it.
one, Newick picks up another, and there the air jab sends Newick through the wall. He will take, I think, some damage from that. Yes, he will. Kevin will get one. Vlad will get another one, and in quick succession, leaves us in a 5-1. Only Airy left to run on the same spot, if I'm seeing this correctly. And Blackstone will take advantage of the ping. And my goodness, the C4 rips. Sent flying, airmail, and there goes the Yana. That will seal up the map for Sinister5. Very well played to them, and very nice execution coming out from the team as a whole. Bravado with some things to change. However, this was, of course, Sinister5's map pick, and it really, really showed. Newick going 16-5 for his team. Absolutely crazy scenes out here. And 2 players on the side of Bravado dropping donuts. Quite unfortunate there, but hopefully they have a bit more to show us over on Chalet, which will be our second map pick. But I must say, that was a very, very well played map from Sinister.
It was entertaining as well because they started it off on their attacks, and the way you said it, Luther, their attacks were well put together, they were coordinated. They just had something that Bravado's defenses couldn't really answer to, couldn't really put up with. And then when Nivek started really popping off, it just became even more and more Sinister5 favored. And that is a curious thing because the community vote came in today and most people were expecting that Bravado are going to take this. So Bravado fans right now probably not feeling very confident, though of course it's a best of 3. Next map is Chalet, like we said earlier. So there's still a chance for Bravado to bring it back on that map and then take it over on to the last one if we do get to it. But right before we do that, we'll be taking a quick 5-minute break if production will just confirm with me. All right, so 5-minute break and then we'll be right back into the action. Don't go anywhere.
You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets so lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence, and the dark's all that I see. When your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound, I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You're the night sky hiding behind dark gray clouds. I can't figure you out now. I see all blue. There is so much cold in you, and the silence is so loud when you go. I just stay dancing with my shadow all day. Watch the time. I can't find the point where our two paths align. But you're the night sky. I'm trying to see your stars, but I've always feared the dark. Now I see violet. I can feel your silence. You always feel so far when your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound. I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky.
You and I don't together like we can change the weather
Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is World League Esports Rainbow Six Siege Impromptu Tournament. We're in the third place playoff match, and I am joined by Luther. How are you doing, my friend?
I am phenomenal. Still wondering exactly what Newick is on right now. I'm in his DMs. I need to know. I need to hit my shots like he's been hitting them throughout the all of Oregon. Man entered it. I think it was about 16-5. He was hitting spawn peaks. He was hitting crazy flicks. And it was the double C4 was absolutely phenomenal gameplay coming out from him. But surely he can't put SINISTER5 on his back for 2 maps in a row. I'm really hoping Bravado bring it this map. This is, of course, their map pick. We are going to Chalet. And I'm hoping that Manny and I think it was Airy can pick up the pace here and start contributing quite positively towards Bravado's scoreboard. on the side of Sinister 5, there has been overall contribution. I think for the most part, Blackstone, I think, came in last with about 1 or 2 kills. So, however, if we're comparing the strategic dominance coming out, it's going to be Sinister 5 for me so far. I know that we predicted more, I think, bravado-based things coming in. We know that the community poll, I think, was about 71% in favor of bravado. But I wonder how many of those voters are now looking for that tweet to switch their vote up. But without any further ado, we do have Chalet on the cards. It's Sinister 5 versus Bravado, and we're ready to kick things off. So let's get straight into the map. And based on that Sinister 5 performance, Olympus, what do you think is going to happen here on Bravado's map pick?
Let's go, Chalet. So, Sinister 5, they've had a little chance to call Livek off a little bit in that little break we had and tell him to slow down, man. Take a benzodiazepine or something. So,
That man is drying off his mouse the way he is sweating on Bravado at this point in time. It will be a Thatcher off the board, yes.
That break might have, it might have dampened that little momentum because we were saying how this game is momentum based.
Yes.
So that break between maps might have dampened his momentum a little bit. At the same time, this map could play entirely different for Sinister 5. And like you said, if the rest of the squad is not able to just fill in their shoes and pick up the parts that they need to, it can't all come down to a one-man show at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't want to hop on about the brilliance that we saw coming out from Newark. After all, this is a team-based game. It is 5 versus 5. So we have to give a shout out to the rest of the team. Obviously, I would assume they're going to be providing that communication for him, enabling him as far as possible to do what he has been doing. A clash will be the first different ban and will be the only different ban coming out. Obviously, it was a Kaid last time on Oregon, and now it will be the clash. Mirror also off the board here over on Chalet. And I'm going to warn the audience now. Chalet, not great with callouts, but we'll have to see how it goes. It will be Sinister 5 on the defense first up. And as far as I know, in terms of the win percentage, has been predominantly attacker-sided. So the fact that Bravado are going to be attacking first on this map, hopefully will be a good boon for them and will give them a little bit of dominance, a little bit of space to assert themselves onto Sinister 5. Delphox has picked up a Doc, which is quite an interesting pick. We don't really find a space for Doc in competitive play, and as I say that, he will actually jump off onto the Echo, which makes a lot more sense. And almost the same sort of lineup coming out from Bravado in terms of operator selection. We got that Yana, we got a Nomad, a Flores, an Ash, and a Maverick. So only one hard breacher on the board. So should Manny hit the deck and hit the deck early as he has been doing, things will not look good in this round. But I'm quite curious to see as to how Sinister 5 will be setting up this map and these two bomb sites in particular and where their extensions will be.
Going into this map, Sinister 5 will be sitting rather comfortably because they have that one map already in the bag. 1-0 up in this best of 3. So they will be, just chilling. If things not go too well for them on this map, no harm done. It's not too bad. They could still potentially take it to the third map and close things out there. But at the same time, for Bravado, this is kind of do or die. If Sinister 5 continue to have a good game like they did on Oregon, they take it 2-0. So, desperation and all the effort is going to have to come out from Bravado's side to make sure that Sinister 5 are not able to string a number of rounds in a row as they were able to do so on Oregon. Let's start things off on this attack as the bomb site itself is in the wine cellar and Snowmobile Garage bomb site. A little bit of BM from Blackstone. But I was going to say that bomb selection is curious to me because it has fallen in favor over the years after this map got its rework, and a beautiful wallbang there from Devon gets the main man on Sinister 5 on his back, and he's gone for this round. But I was saying, as a minute has gone by, that this map, after it got its rework, this bomb site really isn't like the primary one. It's not the most favorable one. Others, like the main bedroom, the bar, the kitchen, have been getting more play and have really cemented themselves in the meta more and more.
So far, so good for Bravado, getting the first 2 picks. Newick obviously getting that unfortunate warbang courtesy of the R4C, and Blackzone hitting the deck after some childish behavior over in the kitchen. We see Vlad picks up 1 but Mystic on an instant refrag with that ARX, and now finding ourselves in a 2 versus 4 in favor of Bravado on their map pick. Now, War has been opened up. However, Echo's still in play, so those Yokais could still make an impact this late into the round. Kievan also still up and putting those smoke babes out. However, 3 smoke babes can only delay for a maximum of 45 seconds. So the fact that it has gone out so early could be troublesome. Maverick has successfully opened up the wall. He's made it soft and created those sidelines in towards the back of garage. The first Ratera drone goes out that we know of, and we can hear there does explode. Eventually, Yellow Ping's now going out trying to signal the direction of these players. And oh, the Ratera drone makes the Echo move ever so slightly in E-Box, and he does get fouled. And then another shortly after, as Bravado making a statement here on their very first round over on Chalet. And this is an excellent start if you're the boys over in the Bravado camp looking to turn over the momentum, to switch out their mindset for that of a winner and take it to SINISTER5.
A good round indeed from Bravado. I liked the coordination there we saw, especially towards the end of the round. Who was playing mute last round? He was in that elbow in the blue hallway. He peeked, I think it was Vlad, because
yeah.
he's still playing mute. Yeah, he peeked and got 1 kill, but then there was yet another player right behind to get the refrag. Beautiful stuff. That's what we love to see from Bravado. And then the Ratero drone forcing out that Echo into a position where he got caught in the crossfire. Beautiful stuff. We love to see it. Like you said, this is Bravado's map pick. And since they're starting on attack, it might go entirely different from how things went last time on Oregon, which was just a back and forth up until some point where SINISTER5 kind of ran away with things. So good stuff from Bravado, making a statement, like you said, Luther, and now they'll be attacking master bedroom.
Yeah, Vlad with the only kill for SINISTER5 that round, as you mentioned, the mute swinging, but instantly being refragged due to the doubling up and communication from Bravado. Mystic caught himself a 3K in the process. The RX doing all the work that round. Now we will be going to the top. This is master bedroom. And this, I think, is probably one of the most favored sites, if not bar and gaming. This is quite predominant in all forms of siege at this point in time. Now, quite interested to see how they've set this up and how Bravado are going to choose to attack this, clearing out from, I believe this is the art gallery side of the map on the eastern side, moving up towards that balcony now. Of course, there is that window preventing these attackers from just pushing straight in towards the door. Well, Mai has gone for a big run out, but will not be punished. That is Newick looking to reclaim some of his former glory that he found on Oregon. The mute now getting rid of these pot plants, as he says, I have no time for horticulture. And he's just going to sit pretty and wait for the peaks coming through. Now, Hibana narrowly misses the K there. I think they've actually got a drone on those 2 operators inside the side. Manny's now making his way through. First pick does go down courtesy of the Organ. That is Divan off the board. That's your hard breacher, or one of them at least, off the board. And the Type 89 left to rot in the dirt. Now, 5 still up for SINISTER5 with not even half the round gone. But unfortunately, the default cam has been left up, and that'll mean it is an easy yellow ping for the defenders. Diffuser now down, and everything to do here for the 4 left over at Bravado. And as I said, it becomes 3 and subsequently 4 for SINISTER5.
Nivek getting just a little bit too aggressive there on the run out, and then on the swing again, he's eventually punished. And as is Delphox, he missed the ground as well, and I believe that Ratero drone will be used to get rid of him. I wouldn't be too surprised if that's what they use it for, to secure the kill. It goes off, not entirely sure where though. Time continues to dwindle away. Don't believe Delphox is in a position where he can't be revived. Of course, as I say that, he's picked up. Blackstone, we hadn't touched on this. He's bringing the Tachanka, no smoke this time, so the denial will have to fall into his hands. Vlad has a C4 to assist in the denial as well. But time continues to go away from Bravado. Mystic does get a kill, so he's making the effort to make things easier for his team. Right now, it seems that they don't have too much map control. Mani, though, will be attempting to go for the diffuser. Eerie is the last one left alive to cover him, and they are a little bit separated right now, which isn't the best of things because Kiver gets the kill, and then Mani is able to be finished off. And the Tachanka launcher, we didn't really see much of it, but you can hear the flames go off in the background there. Sinister5 have equalized things.
Yes, they have the Shemicha launcher. They're proving to do what it's there to be done. To be honest, I mean, trying to prevent that, pushing for as much as possible. Manny did make it through just before the flames hit, but to be left in such a vulnerable position with only one player watching over you is always going to be a difficult task for Bravado. Very unfortunate there. They will go down now to Bar and Gaming Room, and there is Divan on the buck, as you've mentioned previously. We've got the same sort of operating lineup coming out over the rest. Manny does pick up the A, so it looks like they've moved him onto even more of a support role, putting him on that hard breach and planter. I think that is obviously favorable given his circumstances. We will see a Goyo also come out, and let's see how much that Vector does its damage within this map. Interested to see where those Goyo shields are also going to be placed. We often see them littered inside of, I think, the B bomb site inside of Bar, and potentially even maybe by default plant in A just for easy denial. But like I said, we'll have to wait and see as to what the Sinister5 strategy entails. I do hope they're going to have some roamers on the top floor as well, as this bomb site is quite vulnerable to that vertical play. As mentioned, they are Divan bringing the buck, will likely do his best to implement that vertical pressure, but he will have to deal with all this utility that we can now see is being stacked up on the top floor. 2 Goyo shields, some barbed wire, and some pre-placed vertical holes. And I wonder how many operators are going to be stacked up here to deny that.
My goodness, there is a lot of utility being placed in the library side of this map. There were reinforcements, barbed wire, and bodies of operators themselves. A lot of it is being focused on that top floor. And this could be a potential rush here from Bravado, as we saw them getting in from the snowmobile garage and bulldoze their way into sight. 2 bodies on the side of the defenders have fallen rather quickly. Mani attempts the diffusers. He's completely flashed out of his mind. Goyo shield goes off, does so much damage to Delphox. He's on a lick of HP. And oh my goodness, 45 seconds into the round, 45 seconds left in the round, as Nivek is the last one alive here against the 5 of Bravado. My word. Not the best of circumstances to find yourself in when you don't have that much HP, but if Bravado throw themselves towards him, he could secure something here. Not if Divan has something to say about it. Up those library stairs, and he gets the kill. And that is a quick, very quick round for Bravado.
As Manny exclaims in chat that he has gotten a kill for the first time in the game so far. So congratulations on South African servers, Nochal. But here it is. And then I also saw Vlad say my heart, because I can only imagine the straight fear that man endured as he decides to just have a look at the door frame and see 2 attackers, if not 3, stacked up outside with gun barrels all pointed towards him. But a very good call there from the coach over at Bravado, putting that rush in place. And obviously having, I think, to be honest with you, getting a rush to be so successful comes at least with a little bit of preparation. So identifying the fact that the bottom floor, the basement, was completely clear of operators, having the drones and communication in place to facilitate the rush just goes to show the detail with which Bravado can communicate and the map knowledge that they have in place, the critical decision making that has taken place to enable that rush to take place. So big ups to them, very heads up play, knowing that there's going to be a lot of people dedicated to the top floor. So they decide rather let's just go to the bottom and take the bomb site by force and by sheer pace and determination. So GG to Bravado for that round. Now they will go back to Barn Gaming, obviously not expecting another rush, so it could be big brain from Manny, but we'll have to wait and see. They have the same setup with their Goyo shields and everything. Mystic will claim the life of Newick. How is all I'm going to ask is how.
I'm willing to bet that Nivek was getting aggressive as he has tended to do the whole night, and he got punished for it. Bravado now, maybe this is it. The momentum is being picked up a little bit too much, maybe, as a team kill there. Unfortunately for Mani, second
That's what
kill
happens
of
when you
his for
disrespect
the
the
night.
coach, you know, in the bench.
Is unfortunately onto his teammates. So Mystic, one of the more star players, is not going to be able to contribute in gunfights this round, except for maybe calling shots and making callouts.
Let's
I was
call
going
it
to-
let's call it informal job shadowing. As Manny benches Mystic and says, "Cool, you can call the shots now."
Yeah, Luta, I was gonna ask, do you think, given that Mani is playing in the place of, there's so many M's on
Minted.
this team.
I think this
Minted.
one's minted.
Since he's playing in the place of Minted, do you think that has affected how they have been playing tonight?
Absolutely. I mean, Minted is a critical part of the stack. I mean, we've seen him pop off time and time again. He is one of those reliable fraggers, I feel like, on the side of Bravado. So to have him not be able to pull through for this match has been detrimental. But I don't think it can replace having your coach in the team in the moment. The coach obviously not able to analyze things on the go. He has to obviously need to focus on the game at hand. But just having your coach there to calm you down, to clear out the communication between team could be vital. And we could see that actually potentially favor Bravado as we get on into this map. Obviously, he would have designed the strategies for this map, this being their map pick, of course. So hopefully for them, he's going to be a boon and be able to fill Minted's shoes. Now, Vlad hits a very nice shot onto Mitch, who was lying prone just inside the bomb side. Vlad now going to be peeking towards the back of the couch, but Diffuser has gone down in the very default position, and Manny hits the deck courtesy of Vlad's SMG-11 once more. Given now on a quick rotate, Airy gets one onto Vlad though on a refrag. It's a 1 versus 2. There's 30 seconds left on the clock, but Kevin will get one more. It's a 1 versus 1. 100 HP for both, and Buck is in the best possible place that a Buck could be, above. But Kevin knows this, and he's going to be swinging through. Kevin does hear the crouch walking Jaeger come through. The 416 does ring out, gives away his position ever so slightly. There is the pick. Who's going to win it out? It will be the C8, it will be Divan, and it will be Bravado winning out round 4.
Love to see it. Love to see it. This is what we were talking about earlier. Divan on the back, he makes things work. And so far, Bravado have switched things up. They have changed the storyline from the last map. They're now 3-1 up, which is a good thing to see for them, as they are the ones on the back foot in this best of 3. Given, of course, that this is their map pick, it seems like they did a ton of preparation to get themselves into the position that they are right now. That last round, though, it's not like it was one-sided completely. It came down to a 1v1. So good on Sinister5 for getting the refrags that they needed to get. And they'll be going back to Master Bedroom. This is the only site that they have won so far. And it came down to, I feel like, a little bit of lack of coordination from the side of Bravado. On the first round, Bravado, flawless coordination. On the second one, maybe not too much. So we'll see whether that will give Sinister5 their second round, or whether Bravado will be stringing rounds in a row and running away with the momentum.
Yeah, Bravado did get the diffuser down eventually after Manny stormed in to get it down, but obviously the flames came a bit too late from the Trunker. But the frags came in after that, and I think it ended in a 3-0 in terms of man counts in the end. As you said, this was the bomb side that Sinister5 did actually win. Let's hope they can do that once more for themselves to keep competitive in this map. Now we do see some pre-fired windows, and every time I see a pre-fired window so far in this game, I expect a headshot onto Newick, because that has been the case so far. Newick has slowed down ever so slightly, and he will actually be the first person to take damage through a drone hole of all things here in Chalet. He gets absolutely flashed out, double flashed even, but there's been no pressure applied from the rest of Bravado. There goes another flashbang. Manny is on that upside down rappel as the line, so he's saving those EE1Bs for a later stage. And Newick hits the deck as he's not had a fantastic Chalet he's not enjoying his stay, and Vlad
Oh.
will actually make sure Nirek does not get killed by the enemy, but rather saves the KD for himself.
Oh.
Quite unfortunately, as I consider that a wasted C4, and Vlad next takes some damage. But Bravado showing incredible proficiency so far on Chalet, showing that they really have this map sussed out. Their strategies are in order, and it's really allowed them to capitalize on the positioning of Sinister5. Delphox does claim the head of Mystic to try and get his team back in this one. We do find ourselves in actually a 3 versus 3. Grenade being cooked now by Aries, sailing through deep into the bedroom, and a team flashbang will mean that Kievan somehow gets killed by Aries as he pushes into the bomb site. 2v3 with only half the round now gone. Vlad off the board. Diffuser going down. Manny doing what Manny does best. But they can see the planter. And that is the diffuser down. Now a minute 20 left on the clock. So all the time in the world, it's going to be a struggle, an uphill battle even. And as you can see on the left, all players are watching Delphox's cam, trying not to backseat game. But he knows exactly where these players are coming from. There is another drone, and there is a player swinging in to Master. Diffuser does go down eventually, and Delphox in this 1v2. If anyone can, though, he certainly can. Org in hand. Upside down Rapal, and Mitch claims the life of Delphox, trying to make his way back to the bomb side, fighting for this retake, but not if the upside down player on Rapal has anything to say by it. It is Bravado storming through the halls of Chalet, and my goodness, can Sinister5 do anything to stop them?
That's the question that we're going to find the answer to very, very soon, because that last round, there's so much to go over. I am loving how Bravado are playing right now. It seems like this map pick is really playing into their favor. Devon on the back, he was all the way down below in that garage downstairs, and he was using his back through 2 floors of destructibility to wreak havoc on the players who are all the way up there. The rest of his squad were jumping in from that window in trophy room and then going up the stairs into solarium. They were wreaking havoc in the side of that defense, and they just made it work in the end beautifully. I want to say that we got 3 plants in this map so far, which is more than we did see on the last one. So good on you, Luther, to notice that now that they've switched Money into the planting position, he's been making more significant, at least more visible contributions to his team.
Absolutely. I mean, if you can't hit the shots just to the slight ping delay, it makes sense to put him on some sort of operator that doesn't necessarily have to have that tangible impact in terms of kills or in terms of pre-firing sort of thing. So having Manny switch on that hard breacher or that plant sort of role makes a lot of sense to me, and I like the adaptation that Bravado have picked up in that regard. We can see some last minute setups here coming out from Nivik. And is this another rush? Please tell me yes. Let's have it, boys. I want to see it all the way down. Bravado quickly taking the library stairs on West Main, and they're already there, but there is the proc alarm. Who's going to swing first? It will be the Jaeger. Does he get a double? No, Mystic gets one, Vlad gets one, and Uwick as well. So that all in all going in favor of the defense, and Blackstone gets one more with that shotgun. Now, very unfortunate rush tactics, not as good as last time, but as I said, that Mystic looks to bring things back with that F2 in hand. The fire rate's almost incomparable. He managed to try and even up the man count, but he's waiting for one more peek. He's going to pre-fire as he does have a feeling there's another player on that pillar, and indeed there is. Mitch trying to push down now towards the fireplace stairs, but no, he'll have to bide his time. Flashbangs do go out, and it's going to be a split push here from these last 2 attackers. And where's the shot's going to come through? Wamai does swing. The bookcase does not connect, but if he does, it's 30 HP or so. And the double peak coming out from Sinister5, but Delphox will come out. Mystic gets one more to 1 versus 1. Triple kill for Mystic, and he is at the HP deficit here with Delphox. Roni in hand, knows exactly where he's coming from. However, there's still 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock. All the time in the world for the Twitch to decide and consult the rest of our team. It's going to be a pre-fire frenzy coming through the doorframe. And will he go for the diffuser? He does indeed. Going to now look to rotate through in towards the wine cellar area. And now Delphox could not be further away in the other bomb site. Is there a safe plant spot? He does have a shield in front of him, but no, there is in fact a bulletproof camera giving away his position. And now Delphox knows exactly where the Twitch is primed and ready to take this gunfight. Is he going to go for a fake plant? No, it's going to be a quick pre-peek there from the Aruni, but she's going to back up and wait for that signal. Wait for the sound cue that the diffuser is going down. Will he stick it? He won't. He will get back up. It is a very tense moment here. Mystic goes for the drop, goes for the diffuser again. The glow shield is popped, but no, he's already moved away. Who's going to go for the gunfights? No, it's not. The Roni does not connect. Will the F2? It will be the F2. Delphox takes a lot of damage, and it will be the F2. The fire rate, the DPS, nothing can compare. The Roni just not enough this time, and a great shot there from the Twitch to clean things up in that 1 versus 1. Bravado, absolute madness.
Oh my word, that last round was a little bit too tense to handle. My word, it started with what we were hoping would be yet another rush, like the one Bravado pulled off in round number 3. It kind of fell apart. It lost a lot of steam, but my word, wasn't Mystic there to bring it back. Such a great recovery, especially coming off of the back of one of the better players on the squad, using Twitch, not the most controllable gun with the recoil and the fire rate on that F2, eventually coming down to a 1v1 and winning it. It appears pros fake. Pros fake the plans and they are able to pre-fire you into the next realm. So good stuff on him. This is the kind of stuff we're saying we wanted to see. Devon waking up, Mystic waking up, and the rest of the squad contributing in their kills as well. And it's working. What can you really say? It's working right now. Bravado is 5-1 up. They have won, how many is that? 4 rounds in a row.
Yeah.
On
that
their
is correct.
attacks, mind you. That's on their attacks. But who really knows? This could be one of those phenomenons where the map is more attacker-sided. So now that SINISTER5 have the chance to do so, we'll see whether they're able to, again, flip the script, and then we'll just go into this back and forth that we have been used to so far.
Just in comparison to the previous map, we've had 4 plants so far for Bravado. There was 2 in the whole of the previous map, but we've already had 4 in the first half. So focusing on that objective play are these attackers, and obviously showing that putting that 45-second pressure on the defenders has worked in their favor. But now we will go into the swap. So let's have a look now if SINISTER5 have their strategies in order, their plans and their procedures, and will they be playing objective as opposed to a sort of team deathmatch style of siege. Now, very, very late setup now going on here, still around the chalet, and as we can see, well, my magnets are regenerating and primed to be tossed out to catch any sort of grenade or any sort of utility or projectile that may sail through the air. Newick will track Stinger off the stairs to make sure there's no flanks, and as they don't have to dedicate any sort of flank denial or drones in that general area, and which will of course be helpful later on in the round as they try and dedicate those drones to more information gathering sort of uses. Now Kevin will get to work on this wall. He's actually just going to open up the top, possibly toss a grenade through and clear out whatever it is on the floor. It will obviously be Kaid Claws. That's the only operator with Wolf now that we do see coming out of the Bravado camp. And look at all those magnets stacked up outside of the piano. Piano is such a crucial area to hold as it provides access to both bomb sites and even access to a flank towards the backside of the bomb site. And oh my goodness, how does Mystic win that gunfight?
What?
The 416 claims 2. That's Blackstone and Vlad off the board. And you had the sound cue. He nearly gets a third as he pre-fires the window. But no, not to be. Mystic will persist. Newick will get one onto Divan, and Ari will get a refract onto Newick in quick succession. It's a triple in the round for Mystic as he goes absolutely mental here inside of office/master bedroom. Now Delphox has made his way inside of the chalet, and it is a 4 versus 1. Not good here for the captain, and he's going to bide his time, possibly take a tactical time out, and just wait the next 40 seconds out, I would say.
Mystic has been going ballistic so far, and he's at 12 kills, 3 deaths. The man's is popping off. He's doing what Nivek was doing on the last round. Working for his team so far, as they are now sitting dangerously on the precipice of match points. I don't believe Delphox is going to be able to do much for his team here, except maybe StatPad. No, Eerie, is there to say that no, we're not wasting any more time. You're not taking any budget tactical timeouts. We're going straight into round number 8. Speaking of timeouts, by the way, we didn't take one on Oregon. We haven't taken one on this map either. If I was Sinister, I think right now would be about the time we'll take a tactical timeout, just hopefully to slow down Mystic's momentum. But given that they would need 5 rounds in a row to make a difference, I don't think it would really matter at the end of the day.
Why need a tactical timeout if you have your coach in your 5-stack, right?
Oh, yeah.
But I agree. Even in the last map, we didn't see one tactical timeout, even when Sinister5 started running 3 rounds in a row, which was quite surprising, you could say. But yeah, as you said, no tactical timeout here as well. And it's 6-1 in Bravado's favor. So perhaps Sinister5 just haven't practiced Chalet that much or developed their defensive strategies of Chalet that much. Rather banking on the fact that we will be going to Clubhouse, which is maybe a more comfortable map for them. And they're going to save the rest of their energy for the German map. We will be going to Bar and Gaming now. A bit of a change here. We have the Mozzie coming out Roni in hand as well as the Frost, which is quite interesting. I wonder where those Frost nuts are going to be placed. We do see one here in Library underneath the window. That's pretty standard. The other one just under the double window in front of the default plant spot. Now Nuke will be sticking his Gridlock pick, which is quite interesting. Usually you'd see maybe a Nomad, but no. Obviously, I think the area now that comes with the tracks things is a bit more, and that's why that has been favored. A lot easier to block off those staircases, and common rotates through hallways. It is going to be a basement take now as we see the Yana creep through at the bottom of Chalet. Blackstone now getting on drone as well, and Kievan just waiting for some sort of sign or communication, and it's free to hop in towards the trophy room now. That has made his way up to West main entrance as he looks in towards the kitchen, and it seems like it is a storm here to the kitchen. And you know what they say, if it's too hot, get out of the kitchen. It seems like exactly what Bravado is doing, as nobody's currently positioned towards that side of the map. Now, this is a huge roam clear coming out from Sinister5. As remember, we are actually looking towards Bar and Gaming. So the fact that no roamers have yet to be addressed is quite interesting for me.
It seems like they're making their way from the master bedroom side of things all over into the office, and then to clear out the first element of a room, which is going to be driven behind the shield on that mezzanine. And Impact comes out, he stops the second Selma charge from going off, so Kiva is going to have a little bit more difficult time trying to peek over that. He's going to invest more utility in getting that wall opened as he needs it to be. The first nade he tosses out gets eaten up by the magnet. He throws a second one, gets eaten up by the 80. Yes, the smoke grenade as well gets eaten up. So it's just a Womai fest, a Womai Jaeger fest right now at the top of this library stairs. Devon is making it difficult for Sinister5 to get any sort of meaningful progress in their roam clear. Few preemptive shots come out. I'm not sure if that was the Gemini or if it was Vlad himself. Nevek though gets 2 huge kills, which adds on to the other he had. That's a triple for him this round. It was looking so good for Bravado, and right now it's just Eerie and Mitch left to fight things off. 1 C4 between them and not all the best of weapons as Nevek finds yet another. He's going for the ace this round unless Mitch has something to say about it. He has the SMG-11, he has 2 smoke canisters still, but it's going to be an ace for Nevek. That's the second ace for Nevek we've seen, and I'm pretty sure it's breaking some sort of record. Not to the best of my knowledge have we seen one player get 2 aces in one night on different maps.
No idea. I genuinely have no idea. But I mean, Newek doing Newek things. Obviously, reading my tweet, and he's taken more of whatever he's been having. Because my goodness, to get 2 aces is an incredible feat, and maybe it's exactly what Sinister5 needed, just to bolster their confidence somewhat and get the fire going. I would say once more, just under them, get them moving, and get them maybe well on their way to bringing things back here against Bravado. However, that being said, they will have to find 4 more rounds in a row to deny Bravado of this map point. So as much as I believe that Newek is capable of getting these frags, I don't think he can do it 4 rounds in a row. I do still think that Bravado are going to take this map. Now, I feel like Chalet tends to play a bit more out, such as Clubhouse does, in terms of needing your hard breach utility, needing the wall denial, certain angles that need to be held. So the fact that Bravado have been able to run this rampant on this map, I feel maybe leans in their favor. So I think they can really carry it through onto Clubhouse. But this map is not yet over, even though we are on match point. We are going back downstairs to kitchen and dining. I believe it's actually for the first time. I lie.
Yeah.
For the first time, we will be going
Yeah.
to this bomb site. So this is quite interesting. Usually we would see Ameri being played here. However, she's again on the bench, not being able to tour the Swiss Alps, so to speak. But you know who is? It is the American of Kiev on this Maverick, this hard breach tool being put to use so far in this map. We seem to be incredibly useful in getting these hard walls open. So let's see how effective he is attacking this map, or the site rather.
I'm also curious as to why we've been seeing SINISTER5 bring Sledge instead of a Buck on this map, because the way the bomb sites are set up on this map, I feel like you can get a good bit of utility out of Buck from that vertical play going upwards. You know, the kind of vertical play that Sledge is not able to do. So maybe it's just like a comfort thing. Maybe Delphox is more comfortable on the L85 than he is on the C8. And that's why he's been playing Sledge so far. The first action of this round actually comes rather quote-unquote late as the night has been going. Divan, he's the first one to get the kill onto Nivek. Mystic is there to follow it up with a kill onto Blackstone. The refrag game from SINISTER5, as we speak, is struggling just a little bit as they're still trying to make their way into where they need to be to attack the site. Remember, it is kitchen, and according to the last round, they went on such a huge roam clear. It cost them a little bit of time, though they did win the round, mostly due to the ace of Nivek. Given the fact that he's not going to be playing, I'm a bit worried for them as the prospects look a little bit low. Time continues to dwindle away from them, and mind you, none of the Bravado players has been killed.
They've had, as you say it, the Castle's Curse comes into full effect. It's even on speed dial as Mitch hits the deck. That's the smoke off the board. That is your, I would say, primary, if not secondary, plant denial operator off. But again, there's still 4 bodies up against the 3 of SINISTER5. Now, as time is in fact dwindling, as you said, and as I say that, this grenade will sail through the hole and it will do some damage, I believe, near towards the back side. And oh my goodness, the Roni, you can see the bullet traces moving past Liana's head. This is full on Matrix style. And as I say, then Mystic swings out and finds Delphox. That is him off the board. The Fox 16 claims another and puts Mystic on a triple. Only one more to find to get the map in their favor. And Divan will be the last to clean things up here over on Chalet. Bravado with a commanding performance of their map pick. What an incredible performance from them. And what an incredible performance by our MVP. That is Mystic, absolutely popping off on his rolls on attack and on defense.
Commanding is the word I'd used to describe that victory from Bravado. Convincing, even. 7-2 is the scoreline. They just really got that momentum going, and it worked out so well for them. I loved how well coordinated and how well that synergy was just beautifully flowing on their attacks. They were like watching a well-oiled machine just go at it. In this best of 3, we're now 1 apiece, and you know, this is kind of how we expect these matches to go. These teams are incredibly well matched, they're incredibly talented. There's so much skill among all these players that it comes down to just who shows up on the day itself. On the first map, it seemed to be SINISTER5 showing up, with Nivek especially. On the second map, it's been Bravado. So as we go into the third map, which is Clubhouse, who can really say? Who can really say? My prediction was that it's going to be a 2-0 in Bravado's favor. That's completely not going to be the case tonight. We'll see how it continues to play out.
I can hear those Bravado voters quickly going back to the tweet, switch it back from SINISTER5 to Bravado after that dominant performance over on Chalet. I do believe we'll be throwing it over to a quick break just to allow these players a moment or two just to collect themselves, to wipe off their mice and their keyboards respectively. But do not leave us. We will be back in 2 minutes or so for Bravado versus Sinister5 on Clubhouse.
Baby, wait, I know that you're afraid, but it'll be okay if you just stay with me. And we can run from here, and we can disappear, and they won't find us where we are going, dear. So baby, hold on to me, 'cause I know I can make you believe in something that only we can see. Oh, so baby, hold on to me, hold on to me. Baby, wait, I know that you're afraid, but it'll be okay if you just stay with me. And we can run from here, and we can disappear, and they won't find us where we are going, dear. So baby, hold on to me, 'cause I know I can make you believe in something that only we can see. Oh, so baby, hold on to me, hold on to me. You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets so lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence. In the dark's all that I see when your stars have burnt out, and your heart makes no sound. I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky.
Welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to tonight's match. My name is Olympus. I am joined by Luther and my. Best of three is going the full distance, isn't it?
It really, really is, and I can't wait to see what this this map brings up. This is a classic map in our competitive and ranked map pool. Both of these teams will be very experienced and, I would imagine, quite proficient on Clubhouse. And I really think this can go either way at this point in time, starting with the initial game over on Oregon, which swung heavily in Sinister5's favor, however, that being their map pick. And the same can be said for Chalet, to be honest. Bravado running rampant and absolutely bulldozing the Sinister5 stack despite all their best efforts, and that of Newick as well. We can highlight Mystic's proficiency in his gun skill on that Jaeger in the previous map versus Nivix on Oregon as well. And it seems like it's going to become the battle of the fraggers at the end of the day, as when we look at the objective play coming out from both teams, only 2 plants in the very first map versus the 4 in the second map. So I wonder which way this is going to swing. Will it be a team deathmatch, or will it be the 5 versus 5 tactical shooter objective play that we know and love about this game? But without any further ado, let's find out who will take third place in the World League Esports Impromptu Tournament over on Clubhouse. This is SINISTER5 versus Bravado. Let's get it underway.
Right then, it's going to be one of those matches, isn't it? Because SINISTER5, their attacks were good on Oregon. The same can be said for Bravado on Chalet. Now, Chalet and Clubhouse are vastly different maps. I feel like Chalet is a little bit larger, and your attacks have to be so much more on point because there's so many places where defenders can rat, even. There are places where they can set themselves up, like we saw Divan on the top of those library stairs and in the mezzanine area, which is not entirely the same case for Clubhouse. Clubhouse is a tried and true and tested map, which has solidified itself with a very, I would say, predictable way of playing. So it has to be up to who can, I guess, outfrag the other, like you said, Luther, in some cases. It also has to be who's going to innovate with the setups. Of course, this map's bar and stock bomb site got a rework, so maybe we'll be seeing some of it tonight, maybe not, we'll have to see.
What an interesting map, or not map ban, sorry, operator ban phase. We have both hard breaches off the board. That's the Maverick and the Hibana. Those are the two that were predominantly run by both of these stacks on the previous 2 maps. And with a Cade also gone, that is quite interesting. It leaves Thatcher in play, so wonder why Cade will also be off the board. And a Vigil, last but not least to be banned, is quite interesting. Happy birthday, Kievan. Just from broadcast side, I can see it from Divan as well. Everyone out here wishing him the best birthday, and I'm sure that his team will want him to give him that third place if possible. It would be a nice gesture from their end. But just going back onto our bans, very interesting. I'm not sure. We have both hard breaches banned. However, the other 2 are also brought. So Ace and Thermite on the board along with that Thatcher. Let's see how practiced they are running this Thatcher, of course, as if you have a good bandit trigger, that would be phenomenal for the team. However, no bandit on the board, no hard breach denial on the board, but there will be 6 picks from a Thunderbird onto a Legion and from a Yana onto a Flores. So without any further ado, let's kick it off. We will be going to Church and Arsenal first and foremost. Quite keen to see where Manny chooses to distribute those Black Eye Valkyrie cameras. Where are they wanting that extra little bit of intel? We can see the first one has gone next to the gate, showing nearly the whole of B and the default plant spots. And he's now going to be making his way up. He's going to put one actually down main stairs as well. That's a pretty common one as well. I'm going to wonder if an IQ will be brought on later on in this map or in this game. As if we have a look over at the Bravado stack, everyone's utility can be seen by that IQ scanner. So it could be invaluable should they choose to bring it, but will not be the case in this very first round. Let's have a look at how SINISTER5 are going to be approaching this map.
So, the ban phase. Hibana is gone, and Kaid is gone as well. The interaction between those two is kind of curious. Banning Kaid means that the hatch, like the kitchen hatch on this site, is so vital, and the one in Moto right above Divan for a second there before he ran away, it's really vital in getting control of this map. So that makes it a little bit difficult to defend it. At the same time, it also makes it a little bit difficult to attack it. Though given the fact that Thatcher is not banned and Ace is available, as is Thermite, there's still a lot of options for SINISTER5 to play with here. Kiva is the one to start things off here as he eliminates Mystic, who was on a bit of a solo roam. And that's the Aruni gone. That's the Roni gone. Though the Surya gates will continue to stand, Mystic will not be able to influence the rest of the round himself. He was the MVP of the last match. He was the man of the moment, and right now he's going to be asleep. I'm curious if it's going to be like the same case with Nivek. Nivek on the first map on Oregon, he was popping off. He was absolutely cracked out of his mind. And then on the second map, that aggression that he wanted to carry over just kind of wasn't working out for him. He was getting shot through walls, through windows. So I'm a little bit, I'd be cautious to say scared for Mystic, as he's been the first one eliminated with half the round to go.
Yes, indeed, you can hear the hard breach now ringing out and the soft destruction being employed. The Ratero drone about to explode, as well as there are a multitude of sound prompts going on at present. Minute left on the clock, and Galfox will find Divan. That is the Melusi of the board, but as we know, the Banshees will stand until they are destroyed. Now, some more hard breach being employed. As Eri goes for a quick peek here now, this has to be one of the downsides of that surrogate. It does, of course, disable as soon as the defender gets close. So if you're an attacker watching a surrogate and you see it disappear for a moment or two, you know that someone's getting ready to use it. So that does work both ways in that instance in terms of the advantage given. 35 seconds left on the clock, and a very nice shot there from the Valkyrie. We'll see Delphox hit the deck. This is now a 3 versus 4 in favor of SINISTER5. The attackers still have the advantage, but the time dwindles down, and the time is, of course, on the defender's side. Now, as he gets the drone, he will get taken down as Kevin gifts himself 2 kills in this very first round. It's a 3 versus 2 diffuser going down, so technical 2 versus 2 until Blackstone can look back up with his gun. Now, the diffuser does not go down. Actually, Blackstone hits the deck, so does Newick, and all of a sudden, it's a 1 versus 1 triple kill. Mitch last alive. Diffuser is going down. Kevin trying to do his best now, but the Jaeger has dropped with the pistol in hand. The yellow thing is there, and he just jumps off of the defuse just to save that KD. He's like, I will not give myself a death in the very first round. I will do my best, but unfortunately, Bravado will pick up that very first round. Well defended there, even to the last. Shows the patience exhibited by that Jaeger on top of the hatch. Gets the diffuser just before it's planted, and the cover, leaving that in a 1 versus 1. Very well played heads up there by the last alive, and clutched out to get the first round in map number 3 to find out who will take third place in the World League Esports Impromptu Tournament.
That was a great round for SINISTER5 on their attack. They started it off all the way on the rafters in garage and CCTV side of things, and they started off with the opening pick. And the statistic is that more often than not, the team that gets the first opening kill is the one that wins the round. But there are instances like that where the stats don't really dictate how things go, because Bravado was able to bring that round back even when they were 2 men alive and 3 men dead. SINISTER5 on that execute just kind of didn't really coordinate it as well as they had coordinated the first portions of that round. So good stuff coming out from both sides. SINISTER5 on that last round, they kind of got map control rather quickly because there wasn't much of a roam, and I'm curious whether you think that Vigil ban is a counter to that SSD kind of roam game that we're used to seeing on this map.
I don't think it's necessarily a hard counter to it. I did kind of think about it when I saw the Irene playing on top floor with that basement defense, that they were going for that sort of SSG-esque sort of play, but I think SSG usually commits 2 players to the top and they just fall back gradually throughout the round with that Irene who took an early gunfight and was dispatched off quite quickly. The Vigil would have probably played a little bit better up there, but I don't think he brings enough utility to warrant a straight up ban, especially on a map such as Clubhouse. And oh no, we have a bandit tricking Airy. Yes, indeed. When was the last time you saw a bandit tricker in our very own pro league? The nade will catch the bandit on the wall, so there will be no more tricking. The EMP does go off, and so the wall is now open. Well, I would say well tricked there by Airy. He did his best, but of course, if there's nothing in place to stop that grenade, then it won't last very long. Divan playing down below in jungle, 416C in hand. He'll be the next line of defense for anyone trying to push through up those red stairs. We know how crucial that is, along with the alibi still currently playing on rafters, which is usually a very highly contentious point with a lot of traffic. There's the jump out, and there we go. Devon will find Blackstone, who is on rappel. No drones, no flanks, nothing in order to stop that jump out, and that's an easy kill for him. Man, he takes a lot of damage courtesy of a grenade from Delphox sailing through the CCTV window, and now we'll have to wait. Bide our time. Mystic gets one more though onto Newark, and that is the main carry from map number 1. Delphox gets another, looking to step up and carry his team through to a round win here. Devon coming on back from his roam through the master bedroom. Very wary of anybody that may be able to swing him. He hears the Yana and he will find the headshot, putting his team in that advantage in the driver's seat. Even one more for the bank. Triple kill on the round for Devon. And my goodness, Mitch to clean things up with an SMG11. I was about to say SSG there. But looking good here for Bravado. And if they're going to continue like this, carrying through that momentum from Chalet, my goodness, Sinister5 have a game awaiting them.
Once again, it's a good round from both these teams. The initial point of contention for both of them was, of course, that CCTV main wall. And beautiful bandit tricking, by the way, from Eerie. He, like you said, Luther, he did his best, but the nade got the better of him, which now ties into what I was thinking about this round. No Wamai being brought. The Jaeger ADSs, they were quickly burnt out. The attackers had tons of projectiles to throw in there, and that's how the nade got the kill. So no Wamai this time, curiously. Instead, we'll have a mirror being brought on this gym bedroom defense. So I'm expecting her to be set up inside that little cubby in the bathroom, and then the other one maybe can be set up in logistics, I think. Or if they decide to extend themselves all the way into CCTV and cache, she could find her place there.
I do expect that mirror likely to be played looking in towards logistics, like you said, and looking out towards the jacuzzi wall would not surprise me. I do also expect this pretty standard setup here for 2 players to play through a rotate onto red stairs and one holding cash into CCTV just to delay that sort of roam clear and pressure coming from the eastern side of the map. Now, do you think that the fact that the mirror has been left unbanned is going to make a huge impact going through this map?
We don't get to see a lot of mirrors, so I don't have a lot of knowledge to make an educated guess. But from the way things have been playing, I would say, yeah. I would say any kind of advantage that you can bring when you are this closely matched is going to make a difference. The thing is, how are we going to see the counter from Sinister5 onto the mirror? Of course, they have the ace since Hibana has been banned out. That's something they could explore. Or they could bring a Twitch. We did see Twitch being brought out from Mystic on Chalet. Maybe Devik or whoever is feeling comfortable with the F2 can bring Twitch this time as well. And Twitch is not really that bad either, because she got that little buff recently where the drones can jump and the infinite range on the taser. So that's probably what will play out in this round, or rather in the rounds following this one.
I do expect that mirror nerf as well will come into play. Obviously, you can now punch the glass and make it inaccessible for both attackers and defenders. Ooh, Devon sees the rappel up onto past the CCTV wall and narrowly. I like his trigger discipline there, not giving away his position there on rafters, so he is still open for this flank. And he's just going to bide his time and make a creep and crawl back towards the bomb side, maybe catch 1 or 2 operators. He sees the head of the ace and he will be dispatched of. Is there anyone else to collect? Not just yet. Delphox will claim Mitch though, and that is the mute off the board. Things are starting to kick off here with a minute 20 left on the clock, and the Jaeger still primed to come back from his roam. Now, I like this mirror setup, except it has been taken advantage of, and the Yana is now using it against the defenders, which is not ideal. They needed to hold logistics for as long as possible, but that it's a bit of a struggle once you get flushed out. Now, I think they're aware of the player standing just above on top of the cabin. Manny will get Blackstone though, and that is the Vector to claim that kill. And that is, of course, the Thermite off the board. One more, and that is courtesy of, I believe it is the Scorpion. Kevin will get one on the refrag. 40 seconds left in a 3 versus 2, still in favor of Bravado. They've seen quite dominant thus far. They are more than aware of where this player is, and it's going to be a double peek here. Mystic will collect with that MP7. That's Vlad off the board. It's a 1 versus 3. Kievan to do it. All AR-33 in hand. Sees the one. Oh, Very unfortunate there. The AR-33 was trained on the LSZ, but the Scorpion's rate of fire just picks things up there. Great shot from the player returning back from construction. Round 4 on its way to our screens, but 3-0 in favor of Bravado. I did say that it tends to be very much hard breach oriented, similar to Chalet, and that I feel like Bravado would be proficient on it. And so far, I would say my guess was correct.
That appears to be the case, Luther. That round was, again, it's just beautiful stuff. We're witnessing beautiful siege from both of these teams. Right now, more so from Bravado, because Devon was doing as Devon does and running around the map. You called it beautifully. When he saw that player on that CCTV wall rappel, I was like, why isn't he shooting? But then I thought, he's holding the 416C, that's quite a distance. Maybe he's not confident he'll secure the kill. Then he moved up closer and we saw him catching, who was that? That was the ace, Nivek,
Yeah.
unawares on his drone. And I feel like we've witnessed such an instance, 2 or 3 times so far tonight, and I'm just wondering if there isn't the coordination or that little X factor of synergy or the flank watch needed where it needs to be. Because otherwise, how are we seeing Romas just catching people on their drones all these times?
I feel like we haven't really seen a dedicated roam clear come out from Sinister5 thus far, even though we have seen that sort of roam game come out on Clubhouse. We've seen what SSG does. A lot of teams have started playing with it and playing off of that style of roam. And with a map such as big as Clubhouse tends to be, you can expect that roam play. And Vlad, very unfortunate, takes a lot of damage just trying to deploy his drone. And that is Divan spawn peeking on that blue window. That's a very common spawn peek, but you never really expect it in pro play. Now, there was a player on rafters. He's going to chuck a impact up, and he's going to head for the heels. It does not do any damage. So Vlad, the only operator with that flashing HP bar. Now, as unfortunate as that is, he does still remain alive. So his EMPs will still have some value to them should he be able to deploy it without any hindrance. But speaking of hindrance, we have Manny posted up on these main sets. You can see top floor control is in favor of the attackers now, and they need to start transitioning on their way down. I like the timing that they've taken to clear this top floor, and it's now 1 minute gone. They have 2 minutes to start setting up this execute and take this second floor. The C4 goes out, and it does catch Newick. He's having a rough time. That is the ace off the board, but luckily they have been bringing 2 hard breaches. Vlad will be able to be raised and actually put onto roughly the same amount of HP as when he went down. Let's have a look at how they're going to push this 4v5 through, given that they've only got 2 exothermic breaches in hand. What are they going to prioritize, Olympus?
It's going to have to be Moto Hatch, because look at how many impacts are on the side of Bravado. They have 4 of them, enough to deny that hatch as many times as they need to. Not to mention, Mani's camera in kitchen right now is feeding them a wealth of information. So Moto is probably where they're going to have to go now. And as we see Delphox set up here at the bottom of main stairs, maybe that's going to be the case. Kiva, though, is droning with his Roteros. See whether he's gonna get rid of any sort of util from the side of the defenders. Not entirely sure if he's successful, though. The first impact goes out, does a ton of damage to Blackstone. He is there to find the kill. Mitch adds on to the foray, as does Eerie. It's Kiver once again left as the last man alive with 40 seconds. He finds Mystic somehow unawares and makes it a 1v4. A little bit more winnable, but not so much, as there's still someone coming down from the top of these stairs. He's not completely aware as he's looking through the bottom floor. Mani is there to find the kill. Mani just played around these main stairs the whole time, and he was very difficult to get rid of.
Tactical timeout has been called by Sinister5, so we'll give them a moment to collect themselves, as it has been a brazen bravado running 4 rounds in a row against Sinister5. Manny pleading with us not to watch that last kill cam, thinking that he got the kill and having to flick back, narrowly missing, as the last alive, the Flores, looks towards the kitchen before anything else. So looking to fix a snack in this little tactical timeout as well, perhaps, as he chats to his team and tries to ascertain exactly what is going wrong in their attacks? What are they neglecting? And in my opinion, it has to be that roam clear. We have seen the dedicated roam coming out from Bravado, and it really hasn't been addressed from the side of Sinister5. Now, I would like to see maybe a Jackal come into play instead of a Yana, perhaps, as that little bit of roam clear, that little bit of assistance can really do them well, give them that man advantage, and really put them with the front foot forward to deal with this Bravado defense. Now they have 2 rounds to fix it, and let's hope that they can bring it back here and not let Bravado have an easy map 3.
Bravado, for the most part, sticking with the same operator lineups as they go once again back to CCTV and Cash. They've been here once before on round number 2, obviously won that, and now they'll be going back there. The last time that we saw this map, there was a lot of bandit tricking from Eerie, which cost him his life in the end, but his team was able to recover that. So, what adaptation is going to happen? No mute being brought. Instead, they're going to stick with the bandit. On the side of Sinister5, the same operator lineup has been brought out. Looter, you are hoping to see a Jackal, but instead Delphox will continue to stick on to the Iana. I've not seen the Iana be as influential as in other matches. I don't think I've seen that Gemini being used really. The ARX and the nades instead have been the deciding factor in how that operator gets played.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. I mean, we saw the mute get played quite often on Oregon and a little bit on Chalet as well, and that is like their direct counter towards Yana. Obviously, you can't send that Gemini through that radius, but now that there's no mute and still sticking with the Yana but not using her to her full effect, I feel is a bit of a misplay coming out from Sinister5. But who knows, maybe they bank on her just for her clone, for that intel gathering, and for those nades. But again, I do think that Jackal would come in handy. Now, not entirely certain what Newick's trying to get going here.
He's baiting the sound.
Yeah,
cue
he's
for
baiting
the summer, yeah.
100%. There we go. We do see the bandit trick on one. He gets both as the timing is off for Sinister5. 1 Salma and 1 exothermic in the dirt. This one should at least hit. Will he get 2? It doesn't seem to be the case. And there we go. The wall is open. And I'm surprised Airy did not take any damage. They fell back just in time. And as I said, the first person to hit the deck will be Blackstone. So that is actually the Thermite. And that is a great shot from Rafters, actually, from the Wamai, who's doing his damnedest to keep this attack at bay. Kieval also having taken some damage now. And look at the rest of Bravado are happy to sit pretty. We have 1 person off site. And the rest are just happy to sit in Rafters and around the bomb site itself, just sitting by their time. They know that Sinister5 are struggling to crack them. Their gunfights are going heavily in Bravado's favor. So why overcomplicate things? Why not just take your ones, win them, and secure yourself the round? Now, I want to see some adaptation from Sinister5. Is there anything that you can think of that could really help them move throughout this map more seamlessly?
I just think that their refrag game has not been as existent on this map as it has been on previous ones, and at the same time they have been facing the same problem that Nivek was presenting on the first map. As he gets his first kill, he looks to get a second one, but Mystic gets the best of that gunfight. I was saying Nivek, the way he was running around them is what Devon and Mani are doing right now. They're just roaming all over the place. They're gonna get Vlad in the back, and they are the 2 of them from bars. They're there to lob the C4 when needed to, and then that's the kill for Bravado once again. That lack of dedicated flank watch and roam clear that we've been seeing tonight, I feel like has been biting both of these teams equally in the behind. And Sinister5 specifically on this map, I feel like they're not showing up. The refrag game, the frag game itself is dwindling, is suffering a little bit.
100%. I'm quite worried here for Sinister5. I really hope that they don't go so quietly into the night at this point in time. I mean, it's so difficult to talk about strategy when there's only really one thing that has been so dominant in terms of what is allowing these defenders to win these rounds, and of course that being the roam game and the refrags, as you said. it's so difficult to pinpoint one specific thing that the attack needs to do differently or that the defense can improve upon. I mean, we can break down a shield placement or a proximity alarm placement as far as possible. But at the end of the day, if you're winning your ones, you're winning your ones. You can see how practiced Bravado have been. I mean, Mitch's, I think it was actually Mystic. Mystic on the Wamai playing in Rafters knew exactly the angle to pre-fire when he hears the prox alarm. Collects an easy kill even though he cannot even see the head of the player peeking. So I think it's just come down at this point to the practice and the sheer determination in winning your gunfights that Bravado taking this advantage moving in towards us. But they are currently 5-0 up and looking to take it 6-0. A flawless first half if I've ever seen one. But they still have to get through the 6th round, and let's hope that Sinister5 can at least get one going into the switch. Kievan will be the first to enter now into Garage as we are attacking the gym and bedroom, and there will at least be a split push coming out from Sinister5. Let's see how they split things up here and what they prioritize first.
So the adaptation that I was talking about has been brought out in Kiva. He's playing the Twitch to directly counter Mani's mirror placement. Divan is looking for something outside, not entirely sure what, as there isn't anyone on that rappel, and even if he tries as much as he can to get someone on the roof, he'll be so far into that round that he'll probably just die instantly. The sound cue gave away the Twitch drone getting rid of the fast mirror window, and that's good stuff. It's going to disrupt the setup a little bit and make Bravado just a little bit more cautious. There is going to be a bandit trick though from Mystic. He just runs away instead and decides he doesn't want to play on that wall for his life. Mystic and Mitch, on the other hand, are going massive here, getting the first 2 kills for their team. That's the Ace and the Ayana gone. Tons of utility, tons of good guns gone as well. And going back to what I was saying about the frag game from Sinister5. Oh man.
My goodness. Absolutely baited. I'm not gonna lie, he was completely baited. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Yeah, but that's kind of where I wanted to talk about. Vlad, he's the one who just got killed there. He's on 0 kills. Blackstein is on 0 kills as well. Nevek not really waking up this round. It's up to Kiver once again. I think this is the 3rd round that we've been finding Kiver left in a 1vx situation. And can you imagine the pressure on his shoulders right now? He has to win against 4 players of Bravado who have
Can we just
been
look at the
so
silhouette of the...
far.
I don't know who this is here. Look at the silhouette. Look how weird that guy's silhouette is just standing. That looks incredibly uncomfortable. A little bit of humor amongst the seriousness of this of the semi-final. It will be Kiev, as like you said, in that 1vx once more. His name's come up a lot so far in this map, and he's going to go for a hop out the window, as is his right. And Mitch will simply flick around 180, sees the white of that EUL uniform, and he will just put a couple of bullets into her thigh, putting Bravado on match and map point here in the Impromptu Siege Summit hosted by World League Esports. Now, they have been completely and utterly dominant, not letting up on the gas for 1 second here against Sinister5. And now this is Sinister5 having to run 6 back up, or 6 rounds rather, back against Bravado, trying to edge closer to that 3rd spot, but they are more so nearer to that 4th spot at this point in time. Let's see if this is going to lean in towards a defender-sided map. There is a 6th pick, quite interestingly, from Manny, going from that Nook onto a shield operator. As we mentioned, he has been playing that hard support role. So interesting to see how this plays out. It will be on to Church as Sinister5 defend for their lives and for their place in this tournament.
You know, I wouldn't be, even though Sinister5 are 0-6 down right now, I wouldn't be too surprised if they were able to suddenly flick a switch in their minds and get that momentum going, because we certainly have seen such things, and we have seen stranger things in Siege. There are 2 sides to Siege. You start with the attack and then you move to your defense, or vice versa. And the story is never really told until the scoreboard is up and on the screen. Though right now the story is all Bravado all the way. 6 rounds in a row. Their mental right now is just on point, coming off of the momentum of Chalet. I can imagine that Mystic is feeling really good right now. Same for Mitch, as they have been performing and showing up and standing out for their team so far. And they just want to close things out here quickly get done once and for all with this best of 3. I was expecting to see a rush because, like, we've seen rushes from Bravado before, and if they're gonna rush, this would be the time to do it. Mystic is the one to find the first kill onto this extended roam game onto Killer, and that's the smoke gone. Can you imagine? Nivek though finds the refrag onto the Iana who we've been talking about before. It's a battle right now on this rafter stairs between Nivek and Mitch. And Mitch is bested in that engagement.
Oh, it's the little things in this game. It's the little things as this player, demented version of whack-a-mole, with the player popping up on rafters and getting absolutely decimated. What is going on is it is an absolute gunfight frenzy inside of Arsenal, and will be Sinister5 to come out on top. As you said, you would not be surprised if they run things back here, and they've at least managed to get one round back against their counterparts here of Bravado. Now, I liked it initially what I saw from Bravado sending Manny through on that Monty, playing that walking drone sort of intel gathering operator as much as possible. He was getting blasted from that echo drone, but not that it matters too much in the end. Not much to be said there. There was a lot of action happening up and down, gunfights blaring all over the map. But at the end of the day, like I said, Sinister5 come up tops in that round, in round 7. Now, another 5 rounds to find here. We will be going to CCTV and Cash, and Manny will be on the Monty as well. Again, 2 hard bridges being brought with a Thatcher and a Yana. Quite interestingly enough that we will not see a Zofia being brought, as she was incredibly prevalent, I would say, in the earliest group stages of the tournament. So quite interesting that she's not being brought anymore. The LMG just basically hold left mouse button and walk into sight, I would say, along with the explosive utility that she does bring, can be very, I would say, useful on a map such as Clubhouse, especially a site such as CCTV. But let's see how Bravado are going to work with the setup that they do have.
Yeah, I agree with you, Luther, that Zofia, when you place her on that main door at the, what can you call it, like the bar, the main lobby area, she can very easily get rid of the bandit trigger. So given how much we've been seeing bandit tricking, I'm also kind of curious as to why she's not being brought. Maybe it's just a thing of comfort, it's a thing of personal preference. Nevertheless, Manny will be bringing the Monty once again, and we'll be seeing those same bandit trick, Thatcher, Thermite shenanigans as we've been seeing on previous rounds here on the main CCTV wall. We'll see whether this bandit tricking will be successful. In fact, it gets the first exothermic charge, it gets the second Selma, but he has to go away. He's kind of blocked by the shield, but he gets away this life as he falls right back to the top of the red stairs. And now there's a good angle being put onto the top of rafters. This player, Belfox, is going to be experiencing a lot of pressure because the Monty is looking at him. He tries to get back into sight, but that angle, like I said, is there. Eerie finds the head of his teammate Mistake. Unfortunate, but not too shabby for 2 minutes left into the round. They have what they need right now for at least this side of the map. Divan adds on to the advantage for his team as he eliminates Nivek. It's a 3v4.
What? Oh, sorry, I was very confused. I thought it was like an enemy running up red stairs and just like, again, not seeing the player just crouched there, but no, it was teammates in actual fact. I just wanted to highlight something that I have noticed, and then it was exactly why the Maverick and the Hibana ban came into fruition. Now, I will touch on that straight after the C4 being prepped. Flies through the smoke. Will it connect on the planter? It will indeed. And that is Airy off the board. 3 versus 3 now. But now Diffuser going down again. This is Mitch on that Thatcher roll. There's 2 up. Another C4 flies and downs the planter once more. Playing from below is Vlad with the SMG 11 in hand. Who's going to win? Will it be the Yana? Will it be the MP7 of Blackstone crouching behind the shield? It is a bobbing and weaving game, but Yana will dip at the last moment to try and save her life, try and recollect that attack before they barrel on in towards CCTV. Now you can hear the 9mm spraying through the wall, not connecting onto any shots just yet, but here comes Vlad on a rotate back up. Garage says he will finish off Mitch, and Manny will find Blackstone. He is on that Monty. It's a bit difficult to fight it. Trying to go for that plant will not stick it though, as pros do fake the first time. At least Kievan will get one on Divan. Last life is the Monty with the pistol, and Kievan will collect one more. Sinister5 pick up another round. They've stunted the progress that Bravado have made towards that 3rd place, and can they run it all the way back?
That is a very good question, but you left me on a cliffhanger. What is it that you wanted to highlight before those
Oh,
two
yes.
C4s? By the beautiful stuff on Sinister 5, two C4s, two planted denials, more. But what is it that you wanted to talk about, Luther?
Listen, I couldn't leave the death just hanging there. Okay, so something I noticed was they had one player on rafters and they had the other player playing bottom garage as well. Now, often you can send a drone and you can yellow ping somebody playing at that bottom garage level. You can bring a Maverick or Hibana to cut off that rotation. But because the hard breaches are so dedicated to specific sort of walls or hatches, you can't dedicate that hard breach anywhere else, such as those 4 garage panels at the bottom. That allows the defender to play at that bottom garage supporting the rafters player. Quite often we would see a Buck or somebody or a Hibana go through the bottom of garage through those panels to try and dislodge the player on rafters with a grenade or something like that. And I feel like those bans have directly contributed towards that sort of strategy, allowing these defenders to hold onto garage that much more.
That's
So yes,
beautiful analysis, by the way.
that is exactly what I noticed.
I hadn't even noticed that interaction in the chain of counters and counters and counters plays that this game is so beautifully famous for. On that same note, if you have someone sitting up there in rafters, why do you think they're not bringing a Capital maybe, or more grenades, or like even was talking about Zofia in the previous round? Bring a Zofia to stand that person out and then get rid of them.
Absolutely. I mean, they're running the Monty into garage, so there's that one player. Then you have the Zofia from behind. She could stun it out, but remember, if she has her concussion grenades out, she's vulnerable to that player that's playing likely at the bottom of garage as well. So maybe open to a quick peek from the Jaeger that was playing there. I can't say for sure. I definitely think the Zofia would be a benefit on a map such as Clubhouse. But I mean, what can we say? We're not pro players. But you know who is Del Fox, as he claims another life with that 9mm, and the coach hits the deck once more. He'll be on comms for the rest of the round. That is Manny, that is the Monty, that is the shield, and the walking, talking drone off the board. Now, as I say that, Divan also hits the deck. That is your soft breacher, that's your sledge. And last alive, 3 players left for Bravado. And Sinister5 looking incredibly strong on their defenses. Mitch has made it all the way into bottom already. He's got this little semblance of control in and amongst the defenders. Now he's gone prone. He will get one. Mitch will also get one. And all of a sudden, the tables have not turned exactly, but they have evened out. It is a 3 versus 3. Diffuser is actually going down. Mystic has a default plant spot at his disposal. He will bait out 1 C4, but no, Nivik will claim the life, and Airy on a quick refrag will get rid of the flanked player. Now Diffuser is down. We are in a 2v2, but Mitch is on a hair of health, and we have 200 HP defenders to fight against. It will have to be something spectacular from Airy with that Commando 9 in hand if they are to win this out. Now, we do still have 1 player off of sight, and my goodness, this could really go anywhere at this point in time.
I'm very curious as to what decision is prompting Manny to keep bringing the Monty, because as the rounds continue, we said this is a momentum-based game. The momentum is continuing to favor Sinister5 as Delphox has woken up a little bit. Kiver himself has woken up a little bit, but eventually the plant is successful. Mitch is on such low HP. He's continuing to play the same position he has been in this entire time, but he's eventually down. So now it's up to Eerie to find these 2 players. With the 552 commando, he gets the first kill onto Kiver. He almost gets the kill, but Vlad ducks. And this is what I'm saying. The momentum. How have we now gone 3 rounds in a row for Sinister5 when they were looking so weak earlier before? Good on them for stringing those rounds together. But now Bravado, they should start being a little cautious, because 3 rounds, you know, we're saying 6 rounds in a row, that's a huge task, but it's not like the most impossible thing. Well, now they're halfway there.
Are they living on a prayer?
Oh,
Sorry, that was a really bad song reference. But anyway, no, they are in fact halfway there. They're bringing it back slowly, but surely ever so close to winning that one out. Managed to get the defuse done. I can only imagine what it's like being in the Sin 5 Discord. As soon as you hear that diffuser go down and you're literally on match and map points, my goodness, the nervous sweats start to hit different. We will go to Church and Arsenal as they'll look to hit a different bomb site on this map. And there we go. That's what I like to see. Eri bringing out the Jackal. It's only taken them 9 rounds to get to this point to realize how important this roam clear is on this map. Let's have a look at how this will be set up in Sinister5. Looking calm and collected for the most part and winning predominantly their gunfights as everyone's starting to wake up. It's a bit late. They've left it to the last literal minutes, but waking up they are at this point in time. What are Bravado going to do here to stop this snowball that may look to get even bigger as time goes on?
It's either of two things. It's either Bravado goes for a rush and they just stop this momentum train right in its tracks, or they sharpen up a little bit and get back to doing what had been working for them so far. And again, if they win, they'll match point. So they'll take the series 2-1. Money has shifted off from the Monty. Maybe he had a saying, you know, why bring the Monty. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure what the thought process was in bringing a Monty. Not like he's a bad operator or anything, but he had not been seen in the first 2 maps. So why bring him now? Nonetheless, he has been shifted back onto that hard support role on the Thermite and also the Planter as well. So as things go, they'll start their way on the eastern side of the map. Getting that CCTV wall open is the first hurdle. And we're talking about Mute being brought out. Well, Nivek is playing the Mute, and we saw just there his utility rather blocking that drone from going in and wasting just a little bit more time for Bravado.
In all honesty, I do think that Bravado started doing better as soon as Manny picked up a gun and put down the shield. So let's hope that this round is an indicator of that. Area will get the first pick, and that is excellent for them. That is the Jackal doing what Jackal does best, hunting down those roamers, and that is the Mute. That is Newick off the board. That was the man that had the most potential to clutch things up, in my opinion, as throughout this whole Sinister5 stack. Now, we do have that Yokai soft pinging the Yana inside of blue. However, nothing can be done for that just yet. It will be a some sprayed bullets through here from Blackstone. Will not do any damage and not much destructibility either. Kiev is actually potentially looking to go up the oil pit ladder, and that is as dangerous as I've seen. Usually there's a Claymore marking that off, but doesn't seem to be the case this time. Will he take the risk? He will try and perhaps bait it out, see if there's anything watching him. No, indeed. He's going to now make his way through, I would assume, towards the kitchen. See if he can get a cheeky pick off. But we'll have to wait, and time will tell. 1 minute left on the clock. Bravado still with that man advantage. They have the hatch, they have the verticality, but they need to set up their execute. No diffuser down, then things are not looking great. And Kiev actually looking for a pick onto the Yana. He will get one, and now they are well aware of the mutes, or not the mute, rather the smokes positioning on top of the edge. Delphox will get one. Vlad will get another as Sin5 start to pop off. There's a 4v2 and Bravado not looking like they're going to catch this one up either. Vlad gets one more onto Airy. Last alive is Manny. It's the coach. Can the coach do it? I would imagine not. He's lying prone. 5.56 in hand. He's going to bide his time. He's got a dollar store tack timeout in store here for his players. Giving them a quick words of wisdom. You would imagine the free fires come through. They will not connect. He will not die. But eventually, Kiev will pick him up with that SMG-11. Divan calling the attack timeout, as I said, just extending that 20 seconds that Manny had allowed them. And what on earth is going on in the Bravado camp?
This is very curious indeed. Are we going to see yet another flawless half, but this time for Sinister5? Well, they're just 2 rounds away from evening things out, going a full distance in regulation time, and then we'll have OT on our hands. If there was ever time for OT to happen, it would be on the 3rd map, because that just takes you to the last possible round, and it tells you how evenly matched up we have been in this matchup so far. Bravado, though, were changing the script. They were changing the story at the start and was saying, oh, this is very one-sided Bravado. It's not as evenly matched as the other 2 maps have been. And then what happened? They were 6-0. They're just right there on the very edge, the event horizon of taking the series in full. And then suddenly, Sinister5 are picking up momentum. Is it an issue of Bravado making a few mistakes? Is it an issue of Sinister5 finally, that switch that I was talking about, going off and then waking up? Well, we can look at how that last round played out for Inspiration, because you called it so beautifully, Luther. They had the hatch, they had the time. It was now up to them to set up the execute. And what happened? We saw smoke grenades being tossed out from Eerie. Beautiful use from the Jackal, by the way. But the frags, suddenly, the guns on Sinister5 wake up. They get hot, they spray through smokes, they find kills. And they bring back the man advantage in a matter of seconds.
Sure. Things are certainly heating up here in the fight for third place. I can only imagine the straight up confusion as the Yana was fouled by the smoke who decided to rotate up oil pit. Because who rotates up oil pits? Honestly,
On
who
a
does that?
smoke.
On
On
a
a
smoke.
smoke.
I don't get it, but the big brain plays are out here in full effect between Sinister5 and Bravado. If we can have a quick look at our scoreboard, we can see who's contributing to these kills here. Kievan actually on 10 for himself. Very well played there. Blackstone at the bottom on that one. Very unfortunate there. And we can see Bravado just contributing all over the show. In all honesty, everyone pitching in to try and win this out. Try to bring home that third place medal, so to speak. Newick playing very... Oh, no, surely not. Mr. Ref, this is illegal. Okay, thank you.
No.
The Thatcher managing to shoot that C4 before. It was so disgusting. Tossed onto the barricade from the Valkyrie. Tried to get aggressive, but no, the Claymore will stand. And that'll stop the run out for at least a little bit. There is a flank drone now being deployed. And Rixter, if you could not switch the drones there, I was very confused as to how that drone got up red when it was thrown at the bottom. Very, very confused. But regardless of that fact, Thermite looking to get this wall open. And there you can see the nade from below does clear out the bandit and the bandit batteries. And just like that, they have the wall open. 1 minute gone, nice and quick. Now it's all about execute, trying to push around those anchors within the side to facilitate that plant for Bravado. But they'll have to do a bit more work before that can be done. And where is the roam clear coming from? Where are they pushing? How are they going to get the man advantage?
You know, speaking of roam clear, I just want to go back to that roaming smoke on the last round, because that's not something you see every day. And it's synonymous with what we've been seeing so far tonight. Not much roam clear has been happening. And you mentioned it, that you usually would see a claymore on the top of those stairs in oil pit, but none was the case last round. Not so much of a roam here on Sinister5's part as an extended setup into garage. There is Nivek here playing at the top of these blue stairs, and then there is also Delphox who's playing the castle, an operator we haven't seen so far. In garage, Nivek doing Nivek things, gets the first kill for the round, opens things up as a minute is left, actually less than, and the first body to fall has been for the attackers. Now they're going to start to feel the pressure, because once again they have been on match point for how many rounds in a row? And they need to close things out here. Delphox is again the first one to fall, but Blackstone with a pick with the M870 shotgun, and then he tries to follow it up with a pistol, but doesn't do enough damage to secure himself the kill. Kiva does find Mani's head though. Devon and Mitch, last two left alive. If there are any ones who can clutch things out, it's gonna be them.
I didn't want to say it. I saw the M870, I was like, no, surely you're trolling. Like, the M870, but I mean, it causes as much of a distraction as is necessary to get those kills. He even got a kill for himself. So well played there to the bandit, running out without an SMG, but just a pistol and a shotgun. Possibly the strongest shotgun in the game if you can hit your shot. It's a one pump wonder, you could say. And there's no pun intended there for anybody that has that sort of mindset. But regardless of that fact, Sinister5 have run 5 rounds back at Bravado. We've gone 6-0, and now we've gone to 6-5. I can't believe what we're seeing. We're going all the way. We're going to gym and bedroom, and this is Bravado's last chance to secure this without OT, and they must be sweating, if I do say so myself. There's been no variation aside now from the IQ now coming out, which is good. Mirror not being played in gym and bedroom, which is quite interesting. However, the pick of the mirror is a telltale sign that this will be a gym and bedroom defense as I've ever seen one. But the 6th pick from that onto the Frost is quite interesting. I want to see if it's going to catch any of these Bravado players off. But we'll have to wait for this prep phase to finish and that secondary drone phase to be effected. My goodness, I can't believe we're going all the way.
You know, when we were at 6-0 up for Bravado, I said kind of tongue in cheek that it's not completely unbelievable for a team to come back from that deficit, and I didn't really believe that that's what we're gonna witness. I was just saying it as, you know, that's kind of a thing that does happen, and I'm not too sure if this is a statistical rarity in our tournament so far, but Sinister5 have been putting up one hell of a fight to stop Bravado from going away with things. Bravado, it looks on their end like the steam has kind of been taken out of them. Their sails have lost their wind, so to speak, and they are just always ever so close, but yet so far from closing things out. And I want to see them just get angry and say, you know what, enough of it, let's stop giving these rounds away, because in all honesty, this has been our map from the very beginning.
Yeah, from the very beginning, and now it's running all the way back. There you can see the drone dealt with, and I believe the 2 ADSs, not the shield, quite interestingly. So maybe the ADSs did, in fact, get the nade before everything happened. Vlad to open things up here along with Kievan. He'll find another one for himself. That's Manny off the board, and that's Sinister5 edging ever closer towards OT. Now, Nevik will clean things up again. Will he get another one? He will indeed. It is a 1 versus 5. Last alive is my man, Eri. He is going positive, but that will not be enough. I don't think he'll have to have a miracle-style ace here. Oh no, you've walked onto the nade practically, and he moves just in time. Thank goodness, but it will be Newick to clutch up with a flawless round to send us into overtime here for the World League Esports Impromptu Rainbow Six Siege tournament. That is quite the mouthful as a tournament name. I just want to put that one out there. That used nearly all of my lung capacity, but I can tell you who is using the full capacity of this game, and it's Sinister5, and it is Bravado. As we go into OT now with Sinister5 starting on the defense, we have noted this has been quite defender-sided, so that could be a boon for them to take this 3rd spot that we will be going to CCTV and Cashroom first and foremost.
My word, if this is how close it's going to get in the competition for 3rd place, can you even begin to imagine what the grand finals are gonna be like? Mind you, the grand finals are a best of 5. Be live streaming them as always on our YouTube channel right here on Sunday, 4 p.m. So make sure you get a lot of snacks, make sure you get your water ready, and tune in, because if we've gone to the 3rd map here, and that game, the grand finals, is gonna be Vibin versus DNMK, I have a suspicion we'll be seeing map number 5 when we do eventually get there. But for now, we're all the way into regulation time, and now it's overtime. Bravado, what happened? What happened? They had the lead for so long, and it's happened before, right? You've been playing, or you've watched teams play where they get to they need just one round, and then it kind of just doesn't work out for them, and that's what's happening right now to Bravado. Nivek is attempting the same thing he did last round, but it's not successful. Once again, the C4 just clips that barricade on the door, and then, oh, I actually thought he shot it out. It gets shot out by Manny.
Yeah, again, missing that C4 task, but Mystic will open things up in our 1st round of overtime. And as I say, that Dalfox will be on that refrag with the UMP. The UMP slight buff, getting that 1.5 times side, making it all the more viable, even though it is statistically the worst gun in the game. And now we can see Ace's someone's actually being put to use on that garage panel, as I mentioned previously. Usually we don't see the hard breach committed there, but obviously knowing that the Rafters play is in effect, as well as bottom garage, needs to be dealt with. Manny does get a frag onto Vlad. He will and he picks up his 7th kill of the game, so a lot better than the previous one on Oregon, and even better, or sorry, on Chalet, and even better on Oregon now. I do believe Rafters Control is about to be in control of the attack, but no, you can see the castle has actually rotated to the bottom of Garage. Now, all you need is a player on Rappel to push him out there. Del Fox is playing with fire. He's playing a very dangerous game, and he knows only really watching towards that garage door, playing this prone angle through the motorcycle. He's got a lot of angles to watch now. He can be very easily pinched out here, but I can see the drones rolling through to try and deal with him. Where is the assistance? All you need is one more player to double up just to secure the kill. Get yourself the man advantage, but no, it will be Airy to secure it himself or on his lonesome. Now, Kevin has put some pre-fired bullets through, and Sin5 about to lose their first defense, question mark. We'll have to wait and see. It is a 4 versus 2, and as I said, it's going to be 3 versus 2, and just like that, with a flurry of kills, Bravado pick up their very first attack in overtime nonetheless.
You could have done that like 6 rounds ago, Bravado. But nevertheless, they have broken the chain. It was all Bravado and then all Sin5, and now Bravado have broken the chain again. So if the pattern holds, maybe Sin5 will take this round, and then we go all the way to round number 15. Another match point that Bravado find themselves on, but this time they are on defense. Gym Bedroom. Like you said, the mirror window is usually just a straight, the mirror pick rather, is usually just a straight giveaway that that's going to be the site. Nonetheless, it looks like Sin5 are prepared for that. Nonetheless, they do have the Flores, which, given the fact that there isn't a mute, can drive his Rotero behind a mirror and cause havoc for whoever will be standing behind it. I'm curious as to the objective play statistics on this map. I don't know if you have been keeping track, Luther, because it just kind of
I
got
have.
away from me.
I was actually looking at the gym stats now. We've seen gym and bedroom 3 times in this game so far. It came out once for Sinister5 when they were defending. Bravado won that one, and it came out twice on Bravado's defense. Both times were lost. Quite interestingly. So the fact that Bravado are now going back to gym and bedroom, statistically their worst sites. Actually, if you want to be technical, they've all been their worst sites since Sin5 ran 6 back at them. So neither of these teams having won a defense until... Oh wait, do I have that backwards? I'm not entirely certain. So no one's lost a defense rather. So the fact that the first defense was now lost by Sinister5. My goodness. What a time to be alive. I don't know. I genuinely can't tell you which way this is going to go. The fact that Bravado have now broken the streak, and can Sin5 do the same? I'm not entirely certain. They've got the setup. Gym and bedroom is here to be defended. The mirror window is up, and there's the first return drone, as you mentioned, will not be caught out by the defendant. So that will be the shield off of the board. That means the red stairs has been vacated by Airy on this elo. Mitch is the first person to go down, but Newick will claim the life. It is now a 4 versus 4, 2 minutes left on the clock, and things are popping off here. Who will win? Will it be the Scorpion? It will do the ace AK-12 off the board, and that it is the one hard breacher. Luckily, Blackstone is still up, but I wonder where he is being redeployed in terms of the priority of that hard breach.
Good stuff there from Eerie, but it leaves him on such low HP, and now, like I said, Blackstone is being sent here to finish the job. He has the cover of Kiver in case he falls. That refrag game showing itself a little bit here for both teams, as they are more or less even in terms of man count, as half the round is left to go. They still have to find a way to deal with this mirror windows and to deal with Eerie, who has rotated all the way onto the main stairs, and now he's looking to get back onto the safety of the site itself. Kiver still trying to hold a flank here. Little does he know there isn't anyone on that flank just yet. Divan right now sitting inside logistics office. I was going to say he's going to start to feel a little bit claustrophobic as those roteros and those nades come in. As you see one being chucked in there by Delphox, but he very cleverly rotates all the way back and leaves that mirror window up to Sinister5, who can now claim it. It's not going to do them much good though, as the majority of Bravado's defense is back onto site. Holding close angles here is Divan and Ivy. As the time starts to dwindle, those SMGs are going to come in clutch. as Bravado just need to win this one. And just need to win it right now as they start things off with Mystic, getting Delphox gone and off the board. So 4 versus 2.
4 versus 2. What could be the match and map point here as the swing comes through? Blackstone does collect the kill onto Divan. It's 2 versus 3. Blackstone still positioned inside of construction along with Kevin. Kevin has been popping off this game. I mean, you can have a look at his stats alone. 14 and 8, but he's the last one alive. Can he clutch it up? He does see one. He doesn't hit the Jaeger. He hits the gym equipment instead, and Mystic will pick it up. It's GG called in chat. It's the third map in favor of Bravado, and that is the third place medal hung around their necks. Well clutched up by the last alive. The gym equipment just fighting against the last remaining attacker. Kevin doing what he could do, but unfortunately it wasn't enough this time. Very well played to Bravado and to SINISTER5 both. That is the third place medal being awarded. Unluckily not to make it there into the top 3 from SINISTER5, but we saw some incredible gameplay from them, some phenomenal communication and executions, and there's a very well-deserved 4th place, Olympus. What do you think?
I 100% agree with you. It was a beautiful game to watch, regardless of who you are rooting for. It started off so beautifully for SINISTER5 on Oregon. They had Nivek running circles around Bravado. Their roam game was on point. Nivek was getting aces left, right, and center. He even got one on Chalet, which was the second map. Though Bravado there started to mount their comeback. It was a little bit more even on Chalet than it was on Clubhouse, but I'm not even going to attempt to imagine what was happening on Clubhouse, because when Bravado were that many rounds in a row, I was just watching in disbelief as SINISTER5 was somehow, by the skin of their teeth, just winning round after round after round after round. Eventually, Bravado are the ones who come out on top. Congratulations to them, and it's been beautiful to watch nonetheless.
Absolutely phenomenal scenes here. I mean, when last did you see a team go 6 rounds, only for their opponents to go 6 rounds as well in the very last map of that third place final? But I think that is it for us for this evening. I will not be seeing you for our grand final on Sunday. I'm not entirely certain about Olympus, but from me, that is goodbye and good night. Any last words from you, Olympus?
I just want to say thank you to all of the viewers who have been watching, and thank you to all the players who have been participating in the tournament so far. You have given us absolute scenes to watch, and like Luther said, we'll see you on Sunday, 4 p.m. for the grand finals. Bye.